Mykonos to get away from this exact thing. Racing through life, the competition, I just wanted to relax. Now I'm watching Red Eye race against Team Envious's manager, and there's a dog barking. That says it all, really. Do you need some help? I really want to say hi. Hey! Hey! Ooh! Hello? Hello? No?
Good old Pala. He's a good sport, isn't he? We are going to get underway fairly shortly in our next matchup, but I understand that our betting guru is ready, so let's check in with him for the odds on our first game of the day and our last game of the group stages.
Thanks, Paul. Yeah, there's been an industry-wide move for Team Liquid this morning, which is no real surprise to me, given the manner of their victory over BiG on the first day. That day, Liquid lost both pistol rounds, and I don't think that BiG are going to get a better opportunity than that to win this match. I'm going to side with Team Liquid today. Betway go the bottom industry price about Team Liquid. They're 1.75 odds. That is the worst odds of all the bookies out there. They think Liquid are going to win this game, which means if you fancy the Germans are big, Betway.com's the place to do it because they're 1.95 about the Germans. I can't have that at all. I've got to be with Liquid. So the way I'm going to play this is for Liquid to win the match 2-0, which you can get an odds of 2.90, which I think is a lot more palatable. BiG are just too reliant on Tabson here. Liquid are a well-rounded team, so I'm hoping they can do it in 2. Back to you, Paul.
Thanks very much, Luke. Yes, so 2-0 victory is what Luke predicts in terms of the betting over on Betway. Gents, share that view? Is this a 2-0 Liquid game?
I don't know about 2-0. I do favour Team Liquid. I think it's got a much better set of players. Ironically, despite the fact they call Team Liquid, BiG is probably the better team, like the actual team approach. But as I said in the game yesterday against Envious, the reason why I had Envious winning a map is I feel like there still is a lack of firepower. So if you can get them to 3 maps especially, I think Team Liquid wins 2-1.
Okay, Tommy?
I unfortunately share the same view here. I just don't think the Nex is going to be playing as well as he's been playing so far this tournament. He's actually one of the best rated players so far in this tournament. I think Tabs is obviously going to show up like he always does. The team play is probably going to be there. But like Duncan said, Liquid just has so much more firepower that I think that it's just bound to get him over the top in the end.
Okay, let's take a look at the vetoes. They're going to pop up on your screen in just a moment. Where are we going with this one, Duncan?
I think Mirage has got to be a possibility. In theory, Overpass has to be in the mix again, perhaps as a 3rd map, assuming someone doesn't want to veto it. I don't know why I would want to play it, frankly.
Yeah, it's such a close game.
I think you should want to play it. If I'm Team Liquid, let me think. I mean, is Cobblestone a possibility? So, Nukem Cash banned, so it's going to be Train for BiG. Mirage, as I said, yeah. So I'm expecting Overpass should be the logical one here. Apparently Team Liquid doesn't want to play it.
Okay, so Cobble is the last one then?
Yeah, I still like this for Team Liquid in general.
I do too.
Yeah.
The thing is, Train is one of those maps, like we said yesterday. BiG is a much more tactical team, but at the same time, it's actually fairly simple to come up with basic executions to get outside, and it's easy to get to the inner bomb site. As long as you get the bomb down, you're gonna get so many chances at the after plans that if you can just outskill the other team, you're bound to win some rounds. Frankly, T side of Train has always been slightly better for Liquid, I feel like, than their CT side. It's a CT side that they've historically had troubles with, even in the matches that they won.
I just think in this particular match, I think you'll probably just see the trouble that Tabson has in this team, where he has to have literally MVP performances just to have a chance to win. So the big concern here as well would be you can't even take that for granted. Listen, even great players have a series where it's just okay, or they have a game off. You know, even Oscar wasn't particularly that great yesterday when he's playing the series against Gambit, which is Team 1. So I feel like there's just too many. Everything almost has to go right for BiG for me to win this series.
Okay, so both, despite the fact that the maps are done, neither of you have changed your mind. No. Both still on the Liquid train.
I don't really see any single map in the pool at the moment. That's one thing about BiG that underwhelms me.
For Liquid, frankly.
I don't think BiG is like amazing at any one map. You know, I don't have one where like they're the top 5 team in the world. You know, they're just good on them all because they're well-rounded. They've done their practice. Yeah, I think if anything, it's going to be either 2-0 or 2-1 Team Liquid.
All right, thanks, gents. We'll head over to our commentary team for game number 1 in match number 1 of the day. Remember, this is the last one of the group stages as we find our final semi-finalists.
Thank you very much, Paul. We're, of course, here in the commentary booth, myself and Harry. We're about to get it started. Who do you think is going to win the game?
I'm going to be, a bit contrary here. I'm going to say BiG 2-0.
Okay. Because I'm going to say Liquid 2-0.
I think BiG are fantastic. I also think, these maps, they're pretty good for both teams. I'll be honest with you, kind of both of their top 3 played maps. I just think, we saw it go 16-14 last time these two teams played, on the first day. Went the full 30, and BiG, they lost out right at the end. I think they're still going to be hungry to try and pick this one up. And also, our villa is right next door to BiG's, and every night, they've had that music on. They've been playing hits from the, I don't know, like 90s?
Yeah.
They've been big
really
fans
nice
of
music.
that. They've been enjoying themselves. They sound pretty happy, and, when you look over at Liquid, I haven't really seen them much. They've been kind of walking around.
I think the argument that was made on the desk at BiG is more like a structured team. So in that sense, like they gel together well, individuals as well on the server, as in real life, is probably like a big add to that whole equation.
Yeah, even when BiG went on holiday, right, during the player break, they all went together.
Yeah.
These guys are really good friends, which is a great thing to see.
Oh yeah, always. Like that's one of the things with the Starless as well. I think what makes them such a good team is that they enjoy the company of each other, even though when they're not on the server.
And while we'll be getting into this map number 1, of course it is Train. BiG, they're going to be over on the T side, and Liquid, they're on that CT side. Twist got himself the smoke grenade along with the diffuse kit. The rest of the guys on BiG, well, they've gone 3 sets of armor. Got B and Legia, they'll be picking up the utility for this one. They have that incendiary, that's going to help in the after plants, as well as that 2 smokes to try and get them out into the site. And 2 smokes to me does suggest the A play.
Yeah.
That's what they're going to be waiting for right now, just stacked up outside the site. Next, got B. They're waiting down in main. They got Tabson holding over towards Ivy and Legia and Kiev. They're going to be waiting down in Pop Dog. How things are looking right now, they could easily switch this one up and actually head in towards B. You can see the bombs looking curious about rotating, but no, it will now. Start to head in with Tabson.
The thing is that JDM's position actually allows him for rotating really quick into the CT connector. So they have 3 players already on the bomb side. Of course, Twist watching Ivy as he usually does. But JDM can rotate into the connector rather quickly. That means that they can have 4 CTs on the bomb side when the Terries want to go and take that side. And that's a very good setup for Liquid. Then they just need them back on hitting their shots. Right now, trying to find a little bit of map control, trying to find some positions towards B. This is not them saying, okay, we're going to go B. They're just looking for CT, see if they can find anything in the beginning of the round, any mistakes being made by Team Liquid, but no aggressive push is being done. Gold B is rotating it back with the bomb. They're setting up for the outside push, as we probably expected with the 2 smokes. And let's see how this one is going to work out. Elysian Nitro have to step up here. They're the 2 first men to contend this.
Yeah, going to throw these smokes in. Confusingly, we've lost the mini-map. He's the first man down, so now the rest of the guys... Oh, what's JDM doing on the mini-map? Look at this. What's happened? But anyway, look, BiG, they're pushing out. Doesn't matter. We'll do our best to relay these positions. Going to be pushing into the site. Elige is forced back. He's the first man to fall from that site. The rest of the players going to start to come crashing down, but there's very little time left. Have to go for the bomb plant right now. And actually, they do manage to get it down. Twist and Elige trying their best to fight back. They do manage to turn it into a 3-on-3. And now BiG, they've sent almost everyone into connector. Kiev and God B, they've fallen back into connector. Try to boost on over, but it doesn't lead to anything just yet. That boost going to allow them to know that this is where the last 2 players relied. And we're going to see Twist just go and try and stick the defuse. Going to get away with it as well, unless Kiev steps up. But no, he's going to fall to Elige. Liquid, they managed to get themselves that first pistol, and that's kind of come back to the issue as, what they were saying on the desk. That's somewhat lack of firepower in this big roster. And... yeah, I think Kiev is one of these players who makes or break, the BiG clan. I'll be honest with you. If he steps up in these matchups, then, I think they're an amazing team. Tabson, you can always rely on for the most part. He's always going to do well. Next as well. But it's Kiev who's very inconsistent. And I think on Train, having that AWP presence is pivotal.
It has to be him.
Yeah, we have to really see him start to shine as well.
And that was actually also like the first time ever that BiG played was back in January in Germany as well. And that's where Kiev stepped up for the first time on a big stage, or on a semi-big stage, as it was a DreamHack Open. And he was the star of that team throughout that tournament. And he has to be that for them to win this game. Stanislaw pushing in, getting too quick. And the pistols of BiG Clan are not good enough to stop this. Next down to 2 HP, 16 and 21, slowly being taken out. Kiev getting 1 with the deagle, but this is more of a consolation prize. They've got 2 kills so far, so if they get a 3rd, they'll be happy with the round, but definitely not like 100% satisfied. You always want to get something more than just the 3 kills. And there we have the game sound, finally.
It was feeling like a silent movie up until then. We needed the writing on the screen. But no, anyway, so Kiev, now that we can stop doing the audio description, he's going to be over here towards B. Has Nex rendezvousing with him, so they're going to try and head into this one together. And there is one man there, that's JDM. He's going to be on the AWP. AWP, scout, but it's basically like an AWP at this point to these two players. They are both tagged within 18 HP combined. Next, going to be taking up 2 of that. They throw in this smokes. Well, tough to follow. And that's going to signal the play. The rotate already coming in from a Liege and a Twist, but they have been allowed to get the bomb in. There's the slam dunk. Does manage to finish off next. Kiev, last man alive here. 1v3. He is incredibly quick.
Yeah, JDM is very nice. Even though he got smoked and flashed off his position initially, actually really nice job from BiG, knowing that, okay, that's probably going to be the position he's in. Smoke and flash him. He still rotates in, gets the nade in, gets the second scout shot in, and just finishes the round easily for him. 2-0. BiG, of course, in this type of round, not really going to be investing too much. And just sitting around the 2K mark, a bit more for some of the players. Of course, Kiev going for trying to get that wall, probably not going to be a big possibility unless he goes for it without any utility in the first buy round. So this is going to be surely a round that Team Liquid should be able to take. Probably just a B rush, quick tactic, push from the BiG clan, and Stanislaw's ready with the MP9 to farm up some kills and get some money on their account.
Ooh, through the smoke. Stanislaw going to open us up. Finds that first. Now the rest of BiG going to come charging into the might of the MP9. It roars to life. And oh, Stanislaw just mops them up. Kiev, the last man left, only with his Glock in his pocket. And there we go. Twist finishes him off. It's always risky saying the phrase Glock in your pocket. It can very easily go the wrong way. But Liquid, they're going to be able to get themselves that third round. BiG going to come in for BiG. We've actually somehow lost the HUD on our screen. So, Risk going to try and fix that one.
Yeah, I'm trying. It's not working
You know,
out.
it's all good. IT technician Risk. All
right. So I'll put it over to Harry to try and fix this, see if he can fix it. Get the IT support in, Twist, picking up the first one with the FAMAS. This is a very important round as well for BiG Clan to get this, to get that first round on the board. On the other side of things, Liquid, they have the situation where it's kind of a bonus round since they have 2 MP9s. So if they win this one, they're just going to keep bolstering their economy and get it rolling even more. And then probably in the next buy round, if they're not dead, they're going to switch out these MP9s. But this time around, they just see what they can do with it. Play close, see if they can trade 1 for 1, and then let the rest of the team. JDM was also still on the scout, so this is essentially 3 bonus weapons and only 2 full buys. Nexus on 26 HP, so he could also go down as well. Let's see what way they want to throw the execute. Bomb is being picked up by Tabson. And it's looking like either the play down towards Pop Dog, or then Legia opening up towards that B bomb side and faking with smokes out towards A. I think it's going to be the latter of those two. Legia, AK-47. Same as the rest of his team. Got B already gone down, so definitely controlling the troops from his grave. Smokes are coming in now towards that B bomb site, and the hit is imminent.
Legia rushing on in. That MP9 roars to life once again. Luckily enough, fully flashed. Kiev, he's going to deliver, finds himself 2. Hops down, Legia going to get 1 more. And now we're into the 2-on-2. Kiev completely looking the wrong way. Going to fall at the hands of Elige. Legia left 1v2. Elige comes rushing on in and finishes that one off. All on his own.
Hey, defuse timer.
We've got it. Look at that.
We have the technology, Harry. It's arrived.
I mean, they got a little man in the corner, right? It's like, you know, they can get the little man, but they didn't get the defuse. And now he finally got it.
That's something that I like. The fact that, like, the production crew sees, okay, this is something that we don't have. Definitely, we need this. So they fix it over time instead of just saying, nah. They actually did something. That's always nice.
They actually did something. Wow. Okay.
No, that was not comparison. Like, that was comparison to other people in esports. Won't name any names.
It's all good. We've made the decision that you're an arse and we don't want to work with you anymore. But JDM and Stanislaw there, the 2 on the AWPs. Already Elige going to bite the dust. Stanislaw takes that peek and is going to come up last in that duel. Gets tagged. Down to 15 HP. Already man advantage up for BiG. They're going to be stacked up outside the B bomb site, ready to push on in. Stanislaw, as we said earlier, tagged down at 15 HP. Force back with the AWP, just going to be holding the angle. If he finds one here, that's going to be all fine for him. Gets flashback. They're going to be allowed to take the cross. Takes that first. No trade in sight for BiG. And at this point, gets a little bit more damage in through the smoke. Kiev ain't looking too healthy now as he's tagged down at 15 HP.
He's just trying to hit the shots with the smoke, but apart from that first one, nothing is connecting. Secondary smoke goes down, but the Tyrants have already made their way in towards the bomb site. Gobi here with the AK-47 behind his smoke. Let's see if he can make this happen. Sees the first one, does not connect. All on Kiev and Legia. Picks up the first one, double trade. Nitro on 15 HP. Taps the bomb. And Kiev and Legia make it happen. 2v4. Still get it going. And that's the first round on the board for the BiG clan. And yeah, pretty nice, finally getting on the board. But the question is now, the economy on the CT side is very strong, so it's going to be hard for them to get back in.
It's big, they've got their first. Nitro going to be relegated out of that MP9, grabs the extra utility, but we've seen Liquid make some magic happen with this as JDM and Stanislaw are going to try and take the peak, and it's going to be JDM to open up. Finds that first out on the next. Already that man advantage taken here for Liquid, a commanding start to this round. And you look at it, they've already expended a hell of a lot of utility. 2 incendiaries left, 2 smokes as well. Can keep BiG at bay for just that little bit longer. Speaking of bay, look at JDM right now. He stood in this location, holding down the angle, going to be able to find one and then just fade away back into the site. Legia does not see that one coming, and JDM hasn't actually fallen back just yet. Does end up hopping down. 2-man advantage now for Liquid. They're looking good into this round, and Tabson, well, he's the man you'd want to step up. Takes that first peek in, bypasses Stanislaw, dodges and ducks and weaves around the smoke. It's got B to find the first frag. Stanislaw does find damage, but that's going to be it. Elige instead answers back with 2. And now it's just Tabson. 1v3. Bomb dropped in the site. Sneaking up to his right. Going to be Twist who finds the frag. Liquid in with their 5th.
Really liked that it wasn't a retake, but the way that they kind of like went back into that B bomb site. They had at all times they had Nitro still in the back, making sure that, let's say if Elige goes down, he could push in and get the flank in. But there was actually no need for Nitro to push in, so he just held the angle, made sure that they couldn't rotate back towards the A-bomb site. It's a very passive way of playing that retake with one player playing in that position, but they make it work nonetheless. And Team Liquid looking quite good here. Of course, CT side of terrain, we expect them to get, let's say, a 10-5 halved, so 5 rounds already on the board. BiG, not going to be investing too much into this one. Actually, next on 1400 after buy. And the loss bonus isn't going to be as huge, so next might be going for UMP45 next round. 5-1 for Liquid, as we probably would expect. Taking the big lead here in the beginning. BiG will probably need a bit of time to warm up and get that whole thing going. But the T side, they can be very impressive, and I'm sure that they're going to be picking up at least like 4, 5, 6 rounds on this T side.
He's getting a bit hot and heavy for Kiev as he gets forced back by the molly. The rest of the guys from BiG, well, already. Well, B's worked his way down into the site. Stanislaw can't actually find anything. Instead, it's Elige to step up. Does the smash of Legia as he tries to rejoin his German father there within the site. Nope. JDM going to go ahead and behead Gobi, and now it is just Tabson and Kiev left. But Tabson's worked his way into the back line. That's not what we're used to seeing from Tabson as he misses those opening shots. Kiev darting around the train. He's somehow still alive. Finally, Nitro able to find him. But Tabson's going to fall at the end. Liquid. They're onto their 6th right now. BiG, they are trailing behind.
And this is the problem I was talking about, because Legia and Nex both were in a situation where if they didn't buy anything into that last round, they could have like gotten a decent buy out of this round. But instead, they are going for the pistols, if I'm not mistaken here. And yeah, it's going to be pistols utility, and then they're going to do the full buy next round.
Scary prospect right now for BiG is that neither Tabson nor Nex are really having much of an impact. Currently sitting at 8 rounds in. Normally we're used to seeing a much more explosive performance from these players. BiG going to be stacked up over in A main. I have players watching B. That's going to be Nex there, while the rest of the guys now begin their assault out towards A. They don't account for Elige, who is over in Pop Dog, firing shots into the back of BiG. Kiev will fall. It's just Nex, the lone B player, to fall to his death. Liquid, they're in with their 7th. Looking very good right now on this CT side. A BiG client not really delivering the performance we'd expect to see just yet.
This is where BiG needs to come in and grab another round, because of course Liquid have had 2 rounds in a row now that has been rather easy. Just against pistols, they've had good time cleaning those up, but now comes the real test. We have Kiev on an AWP, not with a lot of utility. The rest of the team on AKs and full utility. So this is where Big Clan needs to step it up and get around in. And I would love to see them do a fully execute towards the outside. We know that's something they're very good at. If they can get tapped in to get that control towards Pop Dog. Actually, it's Kiev with the AWP, takes down Nitro to begin the round. And there we go. Good start. Now just need to go back into their default, get the smoke set up, make sure that the CT cannot push him in like Ivy, like JDM is actually holding right now. And then set up the smokes for a big play. JDM shuts down tabseN. And that's a problem if you allow the CTs to push out of Ivy and hold that position when you want to rotate or throw smokes from T-spawn. You're just getting caught. Now, set up for the B push, the terrorists. Twist is rotating in their back though. We can see him on the map here.
Twist are going to get so much information from this as he clears out. A-Main quickly discovers that no one is there. That's allowed that rotate to come in from JDM and Elige already. So there's a 3-man stack inside the B-bomb site. That nade should find some good damage. Does hold them back. It's the Molotov instead to wreak some havoc. And Elige, we've seen him do some serious damage on this aggressive play in towards the site. JDM somehow connects that shot. Legia able to answer back. This is where Elige pounces out, able to take the first. Next is the man to try and trade, which he won't. Elige is on fire. Now it's just Kiev left in a 1v3. Oh no. This is that opener defuse coming on in. And Kiev
There's no chance.
is already opted to save in this one. Gets completely shut down, locked out the site. Liquid, they're in with an 8th.
That's a sick round from Elige. The timing of his pushes as well, on point, 100% on point, because he uses the kill coming in from JDM to kind of lure the terrorist towards the other position, then he can push in, get the low HP player, and then just challenge on the headstock angle on towards the bomb train. And that's why Elige is one of these like NA players who have such a sick individual level. And I could see going far, not only with Team Liquid, but also, let's say, 1 or 2 years in the future. Standard smoke coming out from God B.
Oh, those odds just got even worse for BiG. I didn't think it could, but here we go, Kiev. He's waiting over in A-Main. JDM's taking the aggression over in B. In the meantime, it's also going to allow Stanislaw to start his aggression up. Has support from JDM, holding the angle. That's Legia. B's there to try and help Kiev. Opens up. They're going to lose Legia, though, in response over towards B. And at this point, Liquid can ease off just a little bit. Stanislaw's tagged low. He falls back. They leave JDM to wait and see if any aggression comes through from the big boys.
That's a nice way of playing that. You have that double setup where you go peeking one with the M4, get the frag, instantly rotate back, but you still have the AWP in a very advantageous situation. So you can see the terrorists actually before they do the execute, and you get so much information out of that AWP play. The rest of the team can actually all play A, because now JDM sees this. They have the information that something is going on. And yeah, he's still on the side, still alive after picking one up. This is advantage after advantage towards Liquid.
So BiG, they've got a man down. 2 players making their way in towards main. They've locked tabseN, holding over towards Popdog. Kiev next. And the players starting this assault. Stanislaw and Elige holding A main. Already they've lost next. Now it's Kiev to try and take one in return. Elige is forced back. It's going to mean that tabseN can dart through Pop if he would like, but it looks like they might try playing for B here. JDM starts his retreat. tabseN. Oh, JDM misses that one. Always misses the easy shots. And now that's just the way it is sometimes. tabseN going to get legged. He was fully flashed that time, and he still manages to do the damage. The bomb plant will come in. tabseN able to find one. Kiev takes one more before they do lose tabseN. Now it's just Kiev left in the 1v2.
Has a Molotov. No smoke in the CTs.
JDM's in the site. Pete comes out, but Twist is quick on the trigger. Liquid, they're going to go up 9-1. They're looking impressive right now. And BiG, they have very little to answer back with. Only 1 round. The timeout finally called in for BiG. That tactical pause is going to be used, albeit perhaps a little bit too late. As we look down the line of big boys at God B, going to be communicating with the rest of the gang.
Yeah, and Team Liquid are looking so good on train lately.
I think that's some tissue to cry with, based on this performance.
Cry is free.
Hoping that we can see these guys step it up just that little bit more.
One thing we have to take into account as well is that Team Liquid on train are insanely good. We saw them not too long ago in the online EPL season where they beat even SK on train. That's a pretty big thing to do. And now 9 up to the 1 of Big Clan as we are resuming the game. AWP and Kiev once again. Same as JDM, full setup.
Real
Lots
issue
of
is
money.
now, when you look over at Liquid, right, they've got so much cash in the bank. JDM with 10 grand, Alige, Twist there, both on around 7,000. BiG, they've got so little to work with. They're only making their way over towards A. The Molotovs come raining in to keep them at bay. JDM on the bomb train. Going to be holding over towards Pop. Has Twist aggressive. They're going to lose GodB. Twist, he's going to be able to find that first. Goes back for more next. Does at least get the trade. Keeve holding it close. Spots the shadow there. The feet as well, but goes in with the Glock for some reason. Lands the quick flick though. The JDM instant on the return. Liquid are looking good and BiG, well, they're looking rusty. It's been a huge performance thus far from Liquid.
Yeah, and it's hard to see how BiG can kind of come back into this, because at this point they're just losing duels.
I mean, you say that, right? And then you look at Mouse Sports yesterday on train.
Yeah, they could have a good CT
I
side.
think, you know, we wrote them off fairly quickly and then
Yeah.
they pulled that back. So there is still time here. BiG are
It's always time. It's CS, you can always come back.
BiG are a very resilient team as well. But with how Liquid are playing, I think it's been a lights-out performance from these guys.
But then again, the difference is from our sports, the individual players, in my opinion, are a bit more skilled than these players on BiG right now. Not taking any away from BiG, they're really good, but I think individually, Mousesports a bit stronger team. Team play-wise, BiG are better than Mousesports. So getting a comeback rolling, of course, depends on you being able to win these duels. And let's see JDM trying to win one. Casually takes out GodB. Smoked off, but still no access to the site for the T's. Actually does get down to the side.
He's locking it down. Has support from Twist, but Stanislaw puts a stop to the madness. He's going to go in with 3. And BiG, they just get picked apart there. Defuse comes in. Liquid, they're going to get themselves the 11th round on the board. I mean, BiG, they've been celebrating every night, but this isn't cause for celebration right now. This is a crisis.
This is a big crisis. In this round, of course, they do get what they want. They get this bomb down. That's the whole thing in this round. That's the whole accomplishment. But if you look at the scoreline right now, they don't really need money. They need rounds on the board. They can have enough. They can have enough buy rounds, but if they can't convert them into anything, then it doesn't really matter that you can get the bomb down in an eco round. So 11-1. BiG Clan, they need this round desperately to get something going. They need some kind of positivity in their lives right now, because it's all looking tough at this very moment.
JDM once again is taking this aggression over towards B, holds it aggressively with the AWP. I mean, he knows he can take these challenges. No one's even been answering back. When you look at it, right, we've got GodB and Nex both on 2 frags, Tabson with 3, and we're 12 rounds into the game. That is not a stat I thought we would ever see. Right now, BiG, they are not looking like the Germans we're used to seeing.
No, definitely not the Germans we saw at the Major, because it's almost like a different team in this, at least the first map, or the first half of this, compared to the Major, where they looked very impressive.
Going to be flashing out towards
Oh,
Ivy, does hit the mark on a Twist. Tabson opens up, now he gets himself his 4th frag. Smokes off Stanislaw, they're going to try wrapping. I was going to say through CT, but instead they force through the smoke. That's going to be Tabson to hit the deck, and now Alige is in the back line. Good night, Keeve. GodB and Nex in the 3-on-3. Maggie is going to be here as well, starting to wrap round from behind and rejoin the rest of the guys out on A. Nex gets caught out in the open by Alige, who's just looked on fire. Continues his reign of terror, but GodB does put the boy to bed. Bombplant going to come on in. Molotov out. Like, yeah, things get a bit toasty, forces him out into the open. Finds that frag on a Stanislaw and JDM. He might have looked good over on B, but now he has to step up on the A bomb site. Leggy is on 5 HP, gonna fall to the P250, takes that peek out. GodB knows where JDM is. Just has to play for time here. Bomb isn't planted in the best location for GodB. JDM clearing all the angles. GodB sneaking in from behind, gonna go ahead and smoke off the bomb. Could try and stick the defuse, but GodB on the flank. Finds that frag, and finally BiG, they get themselves a 2nd round. The issue being now, though, is they could have just lined themselves up for the reset into the last round of the half here.
I really like the opening that they have towards Ivy. Just the way that they play in, let's say, a small duo and just flash out for each other. That's how you need to take control of the Ivy position. They do get the first kill, and then they get a bit over-aggressive and try to push with the smoke to get in towards that bomb site, where they should probably just have stood their ground and waited for the whole execute for the whole team. But they actually make it work in the end, due to some individual actions in the last 2v2. Very nice play coming out for GodB, deciding to go with the flank. Always the right call in that situation, especially when JDM is with an AWP in that 1v1. So good stuff coming out of a big clan. We just need to see it in consecutive rounds. And that's the challenge now. For them to get the last 2 rounds in, get it 11-4 or 4-11. They do have the money this one. JDM flashed out. Legia going to win that opening duel against Stanislaw. JDM trying to edge this in.
Gonna be holding the angle, JDM. Lies in wait, just gonna smoke it off, play this one safe. That player down and pop is going to be holding it. That is Lige. He's been playing this angle very aggressive. They haven't had to deal with him out on A. And it has been very strong when it comes to these B takes. The thing is, when you look at it, you've got Tabson waiting down in Ivy. Suggests they could try faking out towards this B bomb site or have him wrap in late to deal with the rotations off of this A bomb site. But the thing is, right now, Lige is going to be shooting up behind them anyway. JDM looking like he wants to try and take this aggressive peek, and he could work out this fake on that basis alone. Spots Legia running back. The information gain for Liquid.
Twist is in our position right now. At least he's going to hold this.
Yeah, Lige, he could be the linchpin. He's been so strong in this. What's going on? A little bit of an error there made down in Pop Dog. Twist instead has to step up and hold the site. Lige finds one, flicks back to Legia, but Legia does take the trade. And now Twist holding the Shamold. Helgot B going to fall at the hands of Nitro. Legia and Kyiv, they're the 2 that are left. 2v3, man advantage here for Liquid. No time left. That will be Liquid in with their 12th. Legia could go down after the time. And that is really going to impede this big economy. They save up the AWP on Kyiv, but he's going to have to step up in such a huge manner in this round.
Twist played that position really, really well. If you want to like learn from pro players and how they position themselves around the map and while they're taking, like what duels they're taking, you should watch a demo of Twist, because even though he's just a young player, I think his situational awareness and his aim is on point. And the way that he just takes the first frag, then rotates down to hell, holds that position, dances back and forth, takes the advantage duel when he can, and then just holds back and waits for his teammate to rotate in. That's a perfect way to play that position. And I'm always impressed by this player. As Liquid are about to maybe make this 13-2, but no, says Kyiv. Takes out Nitro. Good stop. They still only have 2 weapons and then pistols on the big clan side, so it's going to be a rough one despite getting the opening.
JDM in with the aggression. Gonna lose a Lige. JDM finds one, but they're going to be pushing all around. Twist there reinforces, but JDM, the ladder, gets hot as well. Kyiv picks up that frag with the Molotov, and now it's the 2-on-2. Legia will fall as Twist. He's been really stepping up inside this A bomb site. Keeps them at bay. Kyiv left 1v2. Stanislaw wrapping. But Twist, he's the man you need. Liquid in with their 13th.
He's so good at utilizing the map to his advantage. And it's very nice to see someone utilizing these different trains for his own peaks, just dancing back and forward between them.
Yeah, and the reason I think to go a bit more in depth as to why that's so significant is the fact, if you can utilize the map to essentially turn every engagement just into that one-on-one, that's how you got to play, and that's what we're seeing look so strong right now from Twist. 14-4 on the scoreboard. Yeah. And having that few deaths along with so many frags, it just kind of shows you how well he's been able to take these engagements. Everyone is in his favor.
Exactly, and that's how you that's what you got to do on the CT side when you have terrorists pushing in. You got to utilize these different structures on the map to kind of pick apart the terrorist team and make sure that they can push it from 2 different angles, and that's how you do it, and that's how Twist has done it so far. Let's see if he can go on the other side and take some great duels there as well. 13-2 is the first half score. Kyiv has actually been looking okay.
Yeah, I mean, I said Kyiv to step up, but that was providing that Tabson and Nex do as good as usual.
And now Tabson and Nex are sitting on the bottom of the scoreboard.
I mean, the scoreboard almost looks inverted, right? Usually we expect to see, I mean, no offense to them, but they are the most inconsistent, kind of Legia and Kyiv more towards the bottom, but they're the 2 really trying to lift this up. Into the pistol we go. Big, well, what have they bought? It's almost armor across the board. Gobby, he's the man.
Smoke and Molo on Nitro here.
Yeah, the smoke and the Molotov, to me, suggests the B play. I think they might hold for the default, wait and see if there's any aggressions come out from Big, but having the 1 smoke allows you to get that bomb out into the site. You can smoke off the ramp position and push on in. Have the molly for the after plant as well. Spotted Legia out.
Yeah. Now they're going back from the default. The mid-round call has been made, and it looks like a B hit as you predicted. Let's see what kind of smokes... What kind of smoke position they want to utilize, what kind of mollo position. Still 55 seconds to go, so they can take their time. don't have to execute until the clock hits like 30-25.
Yeah, they're going to be waiting outside of that B bomb site. BiG, they've got 2 players here. And it's going to be Tabson. And got B push ready to come on through. Smoke falls. Going to block off the vision on ramp. As we said, Tabson watching the cross now. They're just going to push through their own smoke into the line of Tabson, who manages to find the first, but Nitro's quick on the trade. God, B's been locked out the site. Ooh, nice quick flick. Next going to chime in with one more. Now it's Nitro and Stanislaw left in the 2-on-4. Stanislaw, bit of a bullet magnet there. Doesn't need to take the aggression, but does so. And now Nitro left in this 1v4. Not looking too good for him. Defuse tap. Going to end up sticking that. The man with the kit going to be on it. That's got B. And Nitro, he's just been locked out the site. Can't get anything done. And that's big to secure the pistol round at least. From here, they can try and forge their comeback. Look at this panning shot up through the... I don't know what kind of tree that is.
Hashtag production value. There we go. But yeah, 13-3. Still a possibility, as we discussed early on in the game, even though Team Liquid look pretty solid on this CT side. Big Clan, they have players who can step up on the CT side as well. So comeback is definitely not impossible. But it is unlikely that they take this one. But anything can happen in a game CS. That's the beauty of it. Nothing is decided until the end. Good Molotov there. Cancels out Nitro. And Twist picks up one with his P250. Actually, like Nitro does get a frag.
Bomb plunging to come on in. Next is in the site. Does land some damage out. Tabson tries to turn things around. Legia answers with one more. Now it's Stanislaw and Twist. Left in this 2v3. But I mean, they got the bomb plant in that first round. Now they're going to get it here. The buy in the next round going to be looking very strong. They've done a lot of damage too. Stanislaw goes charging in. Won't be able to deny the defuse. Does find one though before he goes down.
That's fine. That's 3 kills.
Lots of damage. They only invested in the pistol. They've got so much money. We can actually see the AWP come in. Would have to be a glass cannon. Buy comes in for both sides. No AWP in sight for either. It's just going to be rifles across the board. Utility invested in for Liquid. Looks fantastic. They've got the extra money. Elige being the only man who's a little bit limited. But you look over at BiG as a result of those 2 casualties. Legia, he's got no utility into this round. So he's going to try and take the aggression as a result. Has nothing to lose in terms of that utility belt. Gets flashed in, but doesn't spot anything right away. He's now going to start to retreat down through Ivy. Yeah. Here's the pop flash coming from Liquid as well, so it's going to send him reeling back.
So right now, Liquid spread out and their default bomb is still dropped towards the T-spawn. As they're trying to get an opening. Usually you want to try and get that opening, try and get that run boost over towards Ivy. See if you can get anything done. Stanislaw's actually walking in here. Trying to get stuff done. Peeks out. Does a bit of a spray. Forcing Big Clan to focus on this Ivy area. Right now there are 4 players outside on this A bomb side. This could mean that Liquid, their plan is actually to hit B at a certain point. Key rotates back into the B bomb site. So now it's spread as we usually see it. 2 on B, 3 on A. And Team Liquid still haven't shown any of their cards yet. And that's something that I think comes back to Zeus, the coach, that they like to do this kind of like drawn out, well executed strats toward either bomb site, especially here on train where you can wait until that 20-second mark, 25-second mark before you run into the bomb site. And here we go.
Stanislaw finds the opener up on top of the train. Got B, rains down death. Finds himself 2, make that 3. Got B, steps up. Now it's Tabson and Keeve left alive. Make that just Keeve. Tabson's going to fall. And now the man we're so used to seeing with an AWP in hand has to try and clutch this out 1v2 with the M4. He's been the man stepping up for BiG in these rounds. But now he's got to do this. Wrapping around to his left. That's going to be Nitro. Spots the shadow, but Nitro's quicker on the trigger. Liquid in with a 14th. And this round could not have been more important for BiG. They've got no money to invest here. Now they have to make that awkward decision. Do they go for the buy? Do they try and invest in a little bit more next? Doesn't really make any sense to. They don't have enough money to buy up in the next round, even if they did save. So they're going to have to force buy down what they can. And ultimately, it's not that much.
It's always weird to see a team like Big Clan, which you always, like, when you think of the team, you think, okay, they're a really team-based, tactical team. And in these kind of rounds, it's only off the back of individual results like Goldbeast 3K there. That's the only thing they got during that round. And that's not what we expect to see from them. We expect to see like 1 kill from each player because they play so well off each other, mesh so well as a team, and play so strategically. And that's just not what we're seeing right now. Liquid are very good at cancelling out the initial game plans coming in for BiG. And it's working out for them. 14-4 speaks its own clear language. Once again, Liquid out in the default, trying to get something done at Ivy. Keep this top point, this point in time, just holding a defensive angle, trying to get something done with the CZ75, rotates back. And once again, they're contesting Ivy and forcing the big players to kind of focus on that area because that's the only thing they've seen so far. That allows the other parts of the map to kind of open up. We see Nitro taking control over this area as well. Elise trying to battle got B. And it actually happens. Through the floor, Nitro picks up one on Tabson as well, and this is opening up the B bomb site completely because they still have 2 players looking towards Ivy. Legia is rotating now, but Keeve and Nex are so far away from this B hit.
He is the one man who stands between them and B. Only has the Deke. Now he doesn't have a face as Elige will gladly rip that off. Stanislaw shuts down the rotating players. Nex is the last man left. And he's going to fall. Map point now for Liquid, 15-4. The last time we saw these two teams play here, it was on day 1, and it went 16-14. Liquid just managed to win that one out. And this time, well, Liquid have struck back with a vengeance.
Yeah, Big Clan are probably already thinking about the next map now, and how they're going to take a victory in that, and then bring it on to the third. It is the best of 3, though. So there's still a chance, always a chance, with that second map coming in. BiG should be way better on that. The problem is that Train is actually a good map for BiG in general, so I'm expecting to see more, but it hasn't happened yet.
Next in Legia, they've got the scout up into this round. Dig on Keeve. They're going to be waiting. BiG could still try and make their way back into this. It's not looking likely, but these guys are strong on these 4 spies. Only issue for them right now is Tabson's alone inside the B bomb site. That looks like where Liquid have their sights set. 3 players here. Stanislaw holding the back line, push up through Ivy. Nitro as well lining up. Smoke for A. Still the potential here for Liquid to double background and hit this A bomb site, which they could very well do.
And that's something Liquid are very good at, just taking their time. Stanislaw winning the duel because Legia peeks out. Yeah, they're just walking slowly around the map, making sure that the CT is kind of pushing. Stanislaw has now taken a bunch of control towards Ivy. He's already gotten into this position where he can take the duel against Keeve, who comes in from the back line, just takes him out easily. And now this opens up the entire bomb site. Tapton still has to hold B because they cannot leave B alone. That leaves 2 players on this A bomb site. Goldbeast is going to win 1 duel here, and that's nice because he can rotate back into the smoke, but he's still in a bad position when the terrorist decides to come in. They see him, they take him out. Only Nex on this bomb train right now. Tapton coming in from the connector. They know where one of them are. And this is pretty much goodbye. And Liquid going to take it 16-4, Harry.
I mean, I don't think I was mentally ready for that one, I'll be honest with you. I was really expecting a lot more from BiG there. They just didn't, they never seemed to have any sort of control over the map. Nope. It just seemed like, you know, time and time again, Liquid were the ones winning the opening duels, CT and T side. And, you know, the key players who had to step up for BiG, who are usually very consistent, they didn't. Anyway, instead we kind of had to look to Keeve and Legia to pull things together, which, you know, I mean, between them, there wasn't really a lot they could do. God B had some very good moments there in that second half, but Tabson and Nex, where were they?
I don't know. Like, maybe they were just on a sunbed somewhere, tanning instead of playing CS. I don't know, someone could have taken their place. That's a likely conspiracy theory, of course.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not too sure that. Yeah, I can neither confirm nor deny. But yeah, no, Liquid, they're looking good. I think they went above and beyond my expectations. I wasn't too sure that they were just going to completely wipe the floor with BiG. But yeah, there's still a second map. There's still a chance for redemption here for the big boys.
Yeah, sure. They can come back on this next one, of course. We're going to take a small break, and then we're going to come back with map number 2 of this best of 3 series.
Be focused. Be uncompromising. Be the best and never hold out. Pick your event. Place your bet. No matter who you are or what you're here for, it's our passion that unites us. Betway, for the love of the game.
Boost your CSGO skins on onlyboost.com.
I mean, just look at the view in my back. It's just so amazing here. It's probably the best location I've ever been to as a player, and I've been to many events so far. I really like it here. The first second I set foot in the villa, I was like to my team, we need a villa like this for the team. And if you have a villa like this, we will win the next major, I believe.
Yeah, our road, our 6 months road, I would say, was very exhausting. After we achieved our goals, or we achieved even greater goals, we were very happy, obviously, but we were very exhausted. At least we felt like we needed a break, like everyone else felt. But for us, it was like really needed break. And yeah, we went together to the vacation, and yeah, it was like really needed break. And yeah, we enjoyed it very much. But now it's a new situation for us after the break. How do you come back even stronger, or what setting up new goals? So for us, it was a new situation. We kind of didn't know at the first how we want to approach it, but now we find 1 week of practice, it felt even better than it felt like the first week after the holiday. So yeah, we will see. We don't pressure ourselves to achieve anything big in the next 2 weeks or so, but we know we need to
boost your CSGO skins on holyboost.com
and hope that we can play as we did before the break.
Well, for the last 6 months or 7 months for us, since the beginning of BiG, it's been loads ups and downs. It's been a nice feeling. After America, we came back and we kind of wanted to create this thing with family around, friends, and not just trying to find 5 players that can play well Counter-Strike. Instead, we try to make a team that works together and try to build up something that's in Germany not been so far. And I think we achieved it. We made it top 8 to the major. We qualified for some tournaments and Pro League. We are really happy. It's been many ups and downs, but so far we cannot complain about it.
It really feels like vacation so far, but in the end, it's a tournament like every tournament else. We've been to a vacation like 3 weeks ago, so we've been here and we don't need another vacation like this. So we are focused on the tournament. We are not as prepared as we wanted to be because there's just a limited time, because we were on vacation, and yeah, we will do our best.
Hello, welcome back here to ESG Tour Mykonos. My name is Risk. Alongside me is Harry, and we're about to get it started with the second map of this best of 3. It's going to be Mirage between BiG, or Big Clan, and Team Liquid. And Liquid looked pretty good in that first opener.
Yeah, you know, I hope those straw hats that BiG were wearing can protect them from all the shade that's being thrown their way. Yeah, it wasn't looking too good. Let's take a look at the highlights, actually, because, you know, there are quite a few Liquid. Their montage reel effectively here.
Yeah, pretty much.
It was.
This was nice though.
Yeah, it was really all the Liquid show. Didn't really see too much from BiG. It was a bit peculiar because normally, you know, they're a team that we kind of praise for being incredibly tactical. They have Tabson, who's normally just so exciting to watch, and just that game, they didn't look like the same well-oiled machine they usually are.
No, maybe the sun is getting to them. Like Germany is not a country known for its sun. Maybe they're going here to Greece and then you're just getting surprised.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I feel like if you come to Greece and get surprised by the sun, you're a bit
but
of
then
an
again,
idiot.
if you're living in a gaming house 24/7, you just sit in front of your computer and then you just hop into a plane and you end up in Greece. You might be a bit surprised.
I'd like to think, you know, as you know, we all know that some orgs aren't the most transparent. I like to think they get more information than just like, get on the plane.
No, they just get put on the plane and then wake up somewhere. And yeah.
Well, yeah, you know, I mean, normally BiG, they're a team that we praise for being quite solid, but if anything, it was all Liquid. Everything just coming up their way. Twist was probably my favorite to watch. I think he had some very pivotal plays. JDM as well was a delight over on the B-bomb site. Everywhere that BiG went, it just didn't really feel like they were able to win any of the aim duels, as well as that. The actual strategies that were being employed never worked out because they just got picked apart the second they tried to do them. And it kind of links back to something that guys on the desk at Pro League were saying not long ago when I was there, and that's kind of, you know, you can have all these set pieces, you can have everything set up and ready to go, but if the other team is so confident and just keeps kind of taking the duels before you can actually run them, then you'll never ever get to put it into practice the way that it's meant to go.
And that's the problem with BiG, because if Nex and Tabton, they're 2 aim stars and the ones who are about to go up and open bomb sites on this T side for them, if they don't play onto their, not even their A game, if you just play on their middle level, if they can't reach that either, it's going to be very hard for BiG to kind of do these executes. and get this stuff rolling. And we saw Tabson and Nex, what, 3 and 4 kills or something like that? That's not the way that they used to play.
Yeah, you know, I don't think there's any tonight. They just didn't look like the usual team. And heading into Mirage, an even more aim-based map.
They should have this one, to be honest.
I'm a little bit scared for BiG. That said, you know, these guys have shown time and time again that they can be resilient. Let's see, Liquid over on the T side. Currently 1-0 up in this series, looking to try and take this 2-0 to head through to the finals, semi-finals. Ooh, get ahead of myself there. Later on today.
3 flashbangs, 2 smokes. Lots of utility on this T side for Liquid.
Going to go ahead and play your, what looks like perhaps your favorite matchmaking strat, the Contact B. That could be reinforced that much more as they lose Nitro, but instead they're going to push through lower tunnels, smoke off connector. And are they going to push on through? Yes, they are. Flash goes in. That's going to allow JDM to bypass it, but there's 3 players lying in wait. Tabson opens up. 2-man advantage here for BiG. And Stanislaw, though, he's been allowed out in B, and that's a critical error made by BiG. He's taken control of Kitchen already. The rotates can't come in for BiG through that area of the map. Instead, they're going to have to head over towards short. They do manage to get almost everyone there, but Stanislaw still locking down the fort here. Picks himself up a second, starting to turn the tide of battle for Liquid. And then Twist there, the 2 that remain. Spots all 3 players out on short. Pop Flash allows him to take the peak, finds that first. Look at this, he's just isolating these players into one-on-ones. Now it's just Nex. And Twist, he looks so damn good. Him and Stanislaw single-handedly win that round out. Let's not forget that BiG, that was actually a 5v3 at one point in time.
Yeah. To be honest, BiG should have definitely won that. That's just no excuse at this point. It was also funny to see how Team Liquid, they had a strat set up. They had Nitro on the A ramp trying to get into that position while the rest of the team went underpass and trying to push in. But the second that smoke came down in connector and they decided to push through it, like the mid-round call was made and then the first player died and you can just see, okay, someone's pushing into B. We have B, they rotated back. It was very interesting to see, and I would love to have communication in this kind of situation and see how Liquid actually communicating in this, because they have to make a split-second decision if they want to go all in and just push that A bomb site as they probably originally planned, or if they want to go back and do that B take, because now they do have control of at least some part of the B bomb site. Very interesting to see. And now, double scout set up on the BiG clan side, something we see a lot alongside these pistols here. And the CT force-ups. Not really going to get much done. Nitro takes Leggy out with a Galil. And yeah, pretty much just expecting mid-control as being taken by Liquid, and then just an A-split maybe. Actually, they are moving up towards short B. But still just hanging out in mid. Team Liquid, just content with having this situation right now. Keep coming in with a deagle, and that's where he's dangerous.
Dobby tries to push through, going to get caught out as a result. And now that's the man advantage literally given back to Liquid on a silver platter, holding off this smoke next. Waits, but he's going to miss the shot with the scout. Key falls in the meantime over on Beard. Liquid just go charging on in. JDM lies in wait. Oh, practically touching tips with the players in connector, and then he finishes them both off. And that's the tips of their barrels, by the way.
Yeah, that's nice spray control with the UMP-45.
Liquid, they had to take that second round. And that's about as good as it could have got, really. You know, the whole aim there is just to try and keep as many alive as you can. They managed to keep 4 out of 5, so money going to start to accrue already on this T side this round. It's going to be a flat mop-up. Bit of a tech pause, I think, right now. Not either of the teams' issue. It's I think it's to do with like a production thing. Let's take a look at the pool while we're here. Look at that Betway logo floating at the bottom.
Ooh. Good stuff. And yeah, just a couple of players hanging out, enjoying. I saw Envious were hanging out by the pool earlier today. Having fun, of course. Not in the tournament anymore. Same as Heroic last night. Just, even though you're eliminated, you're still allowed to have fun and enjoy the location. It's not all doom and gloom.
I mean, I would hope so, right? I'd hope to just eliminate it from the toilet and take you out back. You know, a bunch of... Just a couple of Greek guys there with some bats and stuff. It's like, well, unlike you drew the short straw.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, no, yeah, we do let them stick around. It's not that brutal.
No, it's nice. But yeah, of course, like all of these guys are competitors, so not being able to play in these last 2 days, of course, hurts. And that's how it is. Like you gotta have that mentality when you're in a competitive sport or competitive game, if you will call it that.
Now, I don't know if you guys can see it, but the game rooms are there. There's this is state-of-the-art camouflage netting over the the windows, of course, to obscure the movement. I don't know why it's there. I think it's to keep the sun out.
Yeah, it's probably not the best sunblock, considering it has holes in it.
I'll tell you what else has holes in it. The Big Clan CT side.
Hey.
There we go, that's the segue in. As we get ready to head into this third round, there's nothing really to invest. You got the flash on Legia. That, to me, suggests they're just going to try pushing in towards one of these locations. Key with the dig as well. Could likely see just a rush onto ramp, flash on through, try to grab yourself a rifle, do some damage. Look how intimidating Elise just looked there on that panning angle. But here we go, Liquid. They've sent Stanislaw alone over here towards ramp. The 4 players, as I said, going to be heading on in. They have Kiev with the dig to lock down mid. That flash could try and net them a frag early on. Really hoping to do some sort of damage here.
This could be the same setup as they had in the pistol round. They're taking mid control from underpass and upper mid, and then Stanislaw holding down the ramp. He's going to have some people rushing him right now, but the rest of the team are actually taking control over mid, getting into that connector. The bomb right now, still on the back of Nitro, will be rotating towards B now that they know that there's a lot of focus on that A side since 3 CTs pushed down ramp. So B's going to be completely open. No CTs there to contest it, and Twist and JDM can just once again hold these positions. JDM once again in connector. UMP45 going to mop up some frags and Twist as well. Another round for Team Liquid. Nothing that they can do. God B will save this AK, or at least will try get something out of the round. But with 1 kill and an AK saved, it's not ideal for BiG right now. In my mind, they kind of needed a good start here in Mirage to get themselves back onto the horse, but it hasn't happened for them yet. Let's see if they can make it happen in the first buy round, though. There's still a long way to go before this is a 2-0 for Liquid. Even though that, the desk and myself thought that was the way it's going to go. BiG still have a big chance in this. They just need to get back on their normal level.
Managed to save up the AK. Oh, players hunting. No, never mind. Got B.
Jinxed it.
I guess I didn't want to turn around. Thinking it's, kind of like a... Is it a T-Rex? If you don't move, they can't see?
Yeah. Oh, well, that's not true, but that's what the movie said.
Well, I get all my information from the internet and films, which is why I'm wrong so frequently. But here we go. Buy going to be coming in for BiG. Kiev has himself the AWP. Quite limited, though, in terms of utility when you look at it. 4 smokes in play. Kiev's got nothing. Also, only 4 flashes between them, so they're going to have to win these opening duels, and a lot of that pressure going to fall onto... Kiev down here in mid, holds that angle. No one going to come pushing through the smoke up towards short just yet. Has support as well from Tabson down in connector. This is the sort of mid setup we see them play a lot. There's Kiev to open and no trade found. JDM going to miss the opportunity for that one.
I actually like how quickly BiG has countered this kind of mid positioning from Team Liquid. Right now they have they had 3 players looking towards mid. Tabson in the connector, got B from short, and then of course Kiev from the middle window, because they knew that the last couple of rounds in a row, Team Liquid, what they did in their default was just take mid control from underpass and top of mid. So now in a buy round, they know, okay, if they're going to try that again, we can lock it down easily by having 3 CT players holding that position, and it works out. They do get the first ban down on the Team Liquid side, and now can play back into the normal default, which is pretty much 2 on B side, 2 on A, and then 1 in middle. God B is dangerously aggressive on short, though. Let's see if he has the timing to rotate back. Smoke comes in from Leggy, and here comes the push in a few seconds. He has time to rotate back. That's nice. The flashbang also cancels it out.
Yeah, Flasher actually stops that entire push coming on in. Liquid going to start to rotate back.
Stanislaw.
Oh, there you go. Rubs barrels for Tabson now to turn his attention to CT. You can see Kiev had to get the hell out of there. But having a man in the back like this, he's ready to slide the knife into the guys on the backs on B. Legia will fall, completely unaware that that push going to come through. God B holds down the angle from short. Could go the distance here. He has to step up massively. JDM takes the peak, though, and finishes him off, and now it is just next.
Yeah, in this position, you should not go for this. It's 1v3.
Yeah, I think that's safe to say. Stanislaw is on fire. Bombs down, taken away. Doesn't have a kit. All the way over a mid. It's not looking good for him.
No,
Liquid
definitely not.
Going to be in with their 4th and next. Well, he wants to try and hold on to the M4 if he can. But he will be alone with the rifle in this round. They're going to force buy up behind it, you'd imagine. Oop, there's a lead.
Get one. But then again, like, they still get the 2 ops out of the round. Actually, they decide to not go for the double up level, which is probably the best decision anyway. Double up setup on the C side of Mirage rarely works out. But still, they get the op out of the round. That's what they want. That's the most important weapon. and they get the win once again. Money's looking good, or decent for Team Liquid, 4 up. On the other side of things, the big guys can afford a force buy here, but they're probably just going to take a few pistols and then buy in the next one. As we do say that, a timeout comes in from the Big Clan to make sure they get everything on point in this round. They're probably going to buy a few P250s as we see them come in around the M4 of Nex and stay around the 2.5k, 2k mark, 3.3 for Nex, because maybe he wants to drop an AWP for his teammate in the next coming buy round. But definitely not investing too much into this round here. Gopi, of course, the team leader, talking to his friends and teammates, making sure that everything is on point. And here we go, back into the fray. Next with full setup, the rest of the team, very scarce. And Liquid with everything they want.
Oh. Keith lands some damage on the twist there in through the wall. Has support from Legia over on short. I've got this crossfire set up mid. Next is in connector as well. It's the trifecta down here. Gopi even going to come in to try and bolster the ranks that much more. And actually, Tabson looks like he might be trying his hand at some aggression up towards Palace, as he has made his way after JDM's holding mid with the AWP. Liquid taking this round very slowly. Aren't too keen on the idea of running into these pistols or that catalyst rifle up on Nex.
And that's how you should play around like this. Just go out into your default, place the bomb at a secure location, and just play different positions. Try and find out where the catalyst weapon is, where that M4 is. This Tabson's actually dueling with Stanislaw right now. As Keith goes down to 1 HP, Stanislaw surely will get the kill. Oh no, Tabson! P250 straight to the face, and now the execute towards that A bomb site comes. 44 seconds to go, they're pushing in, the P250 is doing work. Elise answers back though.
No, Next, there's another man there. JDM finishes him off, flicks back to short, but somehow BiG, against the odds, they pick a round up with just pistols and armor invested. They had the catalyst rifle as well up on Nex. And BiG, they're in with their first. Now, they've started a little bit better than we saw on Train. They've got one round this early on. Now, can they keep that going? They have to start to build this momentum, start to chip away at Liquid's economy, because throughout this whole matchup, we haven't seen Liquid in any economic trouble.
Nope.
So it would be good to see that become a reality. They haven't got an AWP board up, could not afford one. Instead, it's just 5 rifles. Keeve going to be holding mid. Doesn't lead to anything just yet. Tabson takes the early peek, and this man's starting to get some confidence. Won the duel earlier on in the last round. This time, the aggression in through middle yields them an early frag. Ali's going to try pushing through that smoke, and Keeve, he's been watching for that in these last couple of rounds, but this time, Ali is allowed to sneak on by.
No smokes remaining for the T side.
Keeve's fast.
Keeve takes that one. So this is the problem when they want to execute, because if they want to execute towards that A bomb site, they don't have any smokes to block off the position for the CT. Tabson takes down one. That's Elise gone down. 5v2 right now should be around for BiG. Once more, Molotovs go in, and Next just taking them out. Twist goes down, and Stanislaw now 1v5. Bowman is back. Probably not gonna win this one. Odds are definitely not in his favor.
He's going to try and do damage, though, because anything he does do is worth its weight in gold. Goes for the spray line first. Actually going to peek into him. How is he still alive? Finally, Keeve comes in. I was a bit worried there, because somehow he could just stand in the open and get railed from loads of different directions. BiG, they're going to be in with their second round. And they've finally put Liquid in some sort of economic desperation. We can see going to be buying down a couple of pistols on the players that can afford it, but for the most part, everyone around that $2,000 mark. They want to stay around that so they can buy up into this next round coming. Keeve has himself the AWP. Rifles across the board for everyone else, and all the utility they could possibly need. As finally we see BiG start to chain a couple of rounds together. They should be able to pick this one up as well, but Keeve misses the early opportunity down in middle. And again, players pushing out through lowers. Tabson has his work cut out for him, but this man's not shy of hard work. Rolls up his sleeves, comes in with 3. And now it's Stanislaw left. I mean, it was just the eco mop up there. Damage done, being completely denied from Liquid. Bomb on his back, trapped up in top mid, and BiG, they are hunting him down.
Yeah, at this point, I'd like to see I'd like to see Liquid do something else than just starting out with mid control. Perhaps a fast A or B play. Maybe even doing the wall of smoke towards that A bombs and just trying to get in there, because so far all the T-side rounds have been taking mid control and trying to work off that. In the first couple of rounds it worked out, but the second that BiG found out that was what they did, they placed, as I said before, 3 men towards mid and just could cancel everything they did in mid by just holding those positions and making sure that they had 3 CTs on point every single time they tried to execute. So Team Liquid with the buy now, some utility on them, not perfect. Let's see if they're going to throw something else towards BiG, or it's just going to be another default play focused on mid. Looks like it. JDM with the AWP towards A ramp, the rest in 2 duos towards mid, underpass and top of mid. Stanislaw opens up though in mid because Kiev overextends himself a bit. Let's see how they're going to take this out. Bomb still dropped in T-spawn. tabseN on point once more.
Now he's opened up with the equalizer there for BiG. And here Elysian that Molotov. Get the information that he is indeed down in lower tunnels. JDM still continuing this reign of terror out here towards ramp. Next is poised and ready, but tabseN, who's just found himself down in CT, going to be in the potential sights of JDM as he starts to peek on round. Twist and Elise, they're going to rendezvous down in lower tunnels. It looks like we could see them try and play for connector control. They have JDM lying in wait over here at ramp. Smoke goes in, going to keep them away. They're going to try boosting up for window. Got B's here. Oh, there you go, beats him to it, goes running on in. Beats him to the punchline. That's a liege down, man advantage up for BiG. JDM and Stanislaw, they're the 2 men to try and secure this A bomb site, but Nex is holding close. The smoke, his best friend in this scenario. They're going to start to push on through. B finds another down in middle. Smoke going to start to dissipate. Here's Nex springing into action. That's bomb drop. JDM misses the flick. Goes back in, and Nex finishes that round off. 2 for GodB, 2 for Nex, and 1 for tabseN early on. We're all tied up, 4-4. And there you go, the pause called in for Liquid. Starting to get a little bit worried now.
Yeah, because what Liquid are trying right now is not bad. They're just playing standard passive mid-control Counter-Strike in Mirage, which is what you usually can do on the T side of Mirage. But it also relies on the fact that you can win duels to win like the mid to begin with. And every single time tabseN comes out and takes the first frag in mid, the whole system just goes down. So at this point, Liquid, I would love to see something a bit different, because what they've shown us so far in the first 8 rounds has been exactly the same every single time. It has been a different mid-round call sometimes, but it's been the same default strat that they start with. They have not utilized pace yet on the T side. I would love to see them, like, let's say Elise or Twist goes in and opens up towards that A bomb site. With their pace and with their aim, I think that's something they could easily do. Get in there, get something done, and then play off that. Right now it's only pistols. They obviously discussed next buy round, not this one. So this is probably going to be more the same. But the next buy round, I'm really hoping that they show something different. And here we go, Nitro lining up the smokes.
Going to see the replication of that pistol round strategy as they charge through low, as tabseN's not ready, but even then he steps up again, gets himself 2. Does actually fall on the refrag there from Elige. Spotted the bomb out. And here she is right now. Nex is over in sandwich.
Oh, that's nice.
Stanislaw, how does he get away with that? Nex now has to step up massively as they grabbed control of window. It's a 2-on-2. It never should have gotten this close. And Legia, luckily enough, does manage to leave it now all on Stanislaw. 1v2, circling up through short.
It's actually a timing where he could grab the bomb right now, because Legia is going for the big flank at this moment, and Nex is going into CT spawn to make sure that Stanislaw doesn't have that position. But he decides to go for the slow pace Stanislaw instead, and just bides his time. 55 seconds to go, so you can understand that. But let's see if he can make it work. It's definitely going to be a hard one.
Legia is holding. They've spotted him over on short. Stanislaw finds that first. Nex now tries to refrag. Holds the angle. Stanislaw has so many angles to check. And Nex thankfully clutches that one out for BiG. 1v1. But it never should have come down to that. Look at this. tabseN over a mid. Thinks he's done enough. Gets himself 2. It's going to fall then. And then things just go from bad to worse. It was Stanislaw who just single-handedly almost turned that round on its head. He somehow gets away with getting into window. No one realizes, hops through their Molotov as well to catch them off guard. And now the buy comes in. Damage done to the BiG economy going to be monumental. And Liquid up. They've got the AWP back up on JDM.
Same setup. 2 towards top mid, 2 towards underpass, 1 towards A ramp. Stanislaw will get pushed out in a few seconds, I think. They keep pushing A ramp because they know there's only one player there. And actually, they'll wait this time around and allow Stanislaw to come in for the first one. Luckily for BiG, of course, they're playing 2 and 2. So the refrag comes in instantly on that A ramp, leaves them with a one-man advantage. JDM in the meantime, or not a one-man advantage, but evening things out. JDM in the meantime down to 8 HP. And Bomb now on the back of Nitro. Him and Elijah iron mid. Finding out what the plan is now. And this is where the mid-round call comes in. What is the plan now? We have the layout of the default. Which side are we going to hit? So far it's looked like a B hit with the leash to make noise in mid, and he does. Takes down Goppy in the window, rotates over to short. While this is happening, Nex is getting a huge flank in T-spawn. Yeah, but he's getting so much information.
That's all well and good, but look at BiG. They've got a free B bomb site. They're just allowed to waltz in. Elijah's holding this push up through short, and at this round, at this point in time, this round's pretty much gone for BiG. There shouldn't be any way they can get back into it. The flank through T-spawn's well and good, but at this point, the time it takes for him to actually push up through apps, if he goes quietly, they're going to already suspect the rotate in through lower tunnels. And
I think if they get an opening here, they're going to go for it. The second that they see, okay, the smoke comes down, we're not going to go for it.
Yeah, I mean, they spotted out JDM. That was their one shot, and they missed it. So there you go. Call to save comes in. Flank through T-spawn doesn't even play into it. All the information they get from Nex doing that isn't used, and Liquid, they're going to be on to their 5th. They equalize things back up, and after letting BiG win 5 consecutively, they are going to answer back with 1 more. Now, 3 players saving. Definitely going to come in handy for BiG if they can keep all 3 alive. Doesn't leave them in the sort of territory where they've got no money left heading into the round after this. Just going to have to see rebuys for Godby and Tabson. Leaves them now with a little bit of a safety net for the future.
Yeah, 5-5. Liquid bounce back for a bit. See BiG, what's the plan now? Could have gone for the retake, decided not to, probably a wise choice. If they had a bit more speed onto that, and they got their opening frag, and then a 3v2 situation, they would probably have gone for it. That wasn't the case. On the Terry side of things, same setup. Pop flash is coming toward mid. JDM tries to get the opening peak, that taps and rotates back. Stanislaw in the meantime has rotated his position from A ramp to Palace, while Keeve is trying to get stuff done here in mid, and he does go for the first peak, but does not get it. This allows Elise to get into a good position and actual mid control being taken, while Stanislaw is pushing up towards the apartments. Elise spots one in ladder room. Hears the noise as well. Keeve opens up. Let's see if he can get it.
Tabson takes that mid-aggression. It's going to fall prey to Twist, but now Keeve starts to waltz on out. Leggy has gone on a massive flank from behind. They lose Keeve, though. Going to be kept in this 3-on-3, but this aggression from Legia, while it could be a frag, they could try and capitalize on it, forces their hand. They have to go down through mid. Godby's locking it down from short, finds the first, can't step up any more than that. The trade comes in from Elysian now next. Leggy going to start to rotate round. Leggy is already up in apps, and this could be the difference maker. The Molotov, he doesn't manage to dodge it. They hear the tag, and now they get that information. They know exactly where he is. Bomb plant comes in. Legia opens up. JDM's on 11 HP. Knows where one of these men are, but doesn't know where Nex is coming from. That smoke going to help him out massively. And again, now there's 2. Things get a bit more tricky. Legia just going to hold it. Well, tries to stick the defuse. Nex wins out that duel. Defuse comes in, and BiG, they're going to pick themselves up a 7th here.
Nicely played. BiG on 6 rounds. I'm playing a decent CT side so far. On 5 rounds in a row. Team Liquid took 1 back, and instantly after that, the 2v1 win on that bomb side. And another timeout comes out from Liquid. And this time around, 2800 on Twist, 2800 on Nitro, 5800 on Leash. So they could go for a force buy here, Liquid, if they wanted to. They could also just drop a few pistols and play C-set 75 armor with some utility behind it. That's probably what they're discussing right now. Let's see what they go for. Pistol train could be a possibility. Pistol train, wall of smokes towards A. Would not be a bad idea right now. Now going for the pistols. 2 smokes. 2 flashbangs. Let's see where this takes us. 2 smokes towards mid.
Here we go. Kiev holding it with the ult. They smoke deep. That's going to allow Stanislaw to start to push on round. Kiev doesn't find anything, but this is where you hope that tabseN and Connector can try and deal with the man rushing into B now. The momentum picks up and got B. Speaking of getting picked up, he's going to fall. Legia holds the site, has to just buy time here, which he does a fantastic job at. Has allowed the rotates to come in. Won't be able to deny the bomb plant though. Elige is holding close. Kiev picks off one, flash through. Elige continues, but Kiev is quick on the trigger. Stanislaw, the last man left, 1v3. Nexus tag low. Nearly finds tabseN, but he'll be finished off. Defuse going to come on in. BiG in with their 7th, but the main goal that round there for Liquid was the bomb plant, which they get. Money now into the next round, going to be looking great. The AWP can be dropped.
Nice to see that they still can like change the pace of their rounds, making sure that you have every part of the palette available. Goes for the CZ75, and Tech9 plays towards B with a quick pace. 2 smokes towards mid to kind of fake out that they're doing mid control once more. Luckily for BiG, tabseN and Kiev on point with their weapons. And this time around, we do see the buy round coming in. Team Liquid, are they going back to their default? Yes, they are. This time around, 2 players focused towards that A site. So they're probably changing up a bit, focusing more on ramp and apartments, instead of just 3 to 4 players running through mid connector towards A. And that's a setup I like a bit more, because if you play that much focus on mid control and getting through that connector, you can easily get bottlenecked by utility from that CT side. JDM also positioned up in apartments as Kiev gets his frag on a leash. Oh, that's nice from Kiev. Doubles up in mid. Nitro goes down, and now something needs to happen for Team Liquid. They're way too static in the setup. Haven't really taken any duels just yet. They've just went out to mid and walked into the crosshair of Kiev, and those are shots that he's not going to miss.
Definitely not. Liquid, 3 players left. Stanislaw's out here on Tetris, but they fully flashed him. Next gets the information that he's there. Molotov to spice things up a little bit. Forces them back. See that there are 3 players lying in wait. Kiev's up on the stairs, takes the peek into the waiting crosshair of JDM though, and that is the opener found here for Liquid out towards the A-bomb site. Holding up close to the left though is Nex. He's repositioned. Very dynamic here in how he's playing this, but that's all well and good. Doesn't matter when you get railed full of bullets. And tabseN tries to hold this one off, smoked back. Going to go for the lengthy rotate, going to try wrapping through T-Spawn by the looks of things, leaving Legia and Godby to lock down this A-bomb site. JDM holds from stairs. Twist going to be afforded the bomb plant for free. It's tabseN on this wrap round. That has to be the linchpin. He's the man who can make all the difference. JDM suspects, though, as JDM often does. Starts to rotate round to hold the angle. And tabseN, I don't fancy your odds here, my friend. Goes on round, and JDM lands the shot. 1v2. Both players pushing on through. Smoke goes out. But that's going to miss its mark terribly. Can play that gap in the smoke. JDM, you can't give an advantage like that. Fades away. DQ's baited out. Takes the peek in. Legia holds the angle. JDM going to be allowed to survive. Rushing on through. JDM in the 1v3. Clutches it out. And that's Liquid in with their 6th. JDM, this man is a monster.
What a round from JDM. 4 kills with the AWP, as you say. 1v3 clutch in the end. Kiev even starts this out perfectly for BiG, but they just allow JDM to do what he does best. And that's swing that big sniper rifle. Take down opponents one by one. A lot of mistakes being made by BiG in that retake. And JDM definitely took advantage of that. Mid-control, coming in from Liquid once again. He's pushing in here with the UMP-45 tabseN. He's ready. He's a bit flashed, but he will get the frag though. Not the second one. Stanislaw comes in with the revenge. Nitro tries to spam through. Next with one onto Twists. Bomb is down, but Nitro has taken it back.
2 men left, but jumping in through middle. That's Stanislaw. Hot on their heels with the UMP, and Kiev left in the 1v3. Out to his right. That's actually Nitro to finish things off. That's the 7-7 scoreline, all tied up. Next round decides who head into this with a 1-round advantage into the last of the half.
Stanislaw's been on point so far. In-game leader sitting at 18-10. And the player that I, together with Twist, played best on training, in my opinion, Elish is currently just on 5 frags, so there's definitely more to be done by Elish on the CT side coming in. But Stanislaus definitely taking the reins of this one, making sure that his team pulls through. Defensive, maybe even passive setup here for Team Liquid, just waiting for Big Clamp to push, which is understandable. They know they're on a force. Sometimes aggressive CT positions can be good in this kind of round, so they're just playing it back. Kiev actually does push, but that's not the pistol push. That's actually the AWP push into mid, takes down JDM.
Yeah, JDM, he's been a real problem right now. The BiG just haven't been able to contend with. They've dropped him out early on this time. Tabson holding it with the dig. His high-powered hand cannon, something we know these Germans are good with. Smokes off that Molotov, has the gap over the top of that now. Got B holding with the UMP from short. He's just locking it down. Bomb just dropped back passively right now for Liquid. They haven't dedicated anything anywhere just yet. Trying to take control of it.
Boost your CSGO skins on holyboost.com.
Right now, just taking this round very slowly. Now we're going to start to send Stanislaw back. He'll pick up the bomb. Looks like he's going to try and rejoin the rest of the gang in mid, but not if Tabson beats them to the punchline. Nitro does manage to get the return. And now Kiev comes in swinging. Is going to be sent back, flailing his arms in the air, tries to run away, and Stanislaw and Nitro start to push up through short. No one down at connector. That smoke renders them useless. Got B and Legia have to try and hold this B bomb site. Going to push through the Molotov, catches Stanislaw blind, and now Nitro falls. Got B cements that round for BiG. 8-7 at the end of the half. Going to be heading into this second half pretty much even across the board, but one thing that I think we can both agree on is that thankfully Tabson has stepped up along with Nex. Now we have a game on our hands.
Yeah, this is the difference that Big Clan needed the 2 star players to go in and get stuff done, and it just seems like it's an effect that just helps the whole team get back into the game with these 2 players, start having more confidence in the duels that they take, start winning them, start giving a 1-man, 2-man advantage every now and again. And as we are preparing ourselves to go into the second half of this second map, the loser of this, of course, eliminated from the group stage. The winner goes to the semi-final. And that is to play against SK Gaming, if not mistaken. So that's going to be a tough match for either of these 2 teams, whoever makes it through. Lots of decoy grenades being bought by Big Clan. 2 smokes, 2 flashes. Smokes are coming up. This is the A take. Rather quickly, actually. Got B's lining up smokes. And here we go. Oh, that's a nice one. EU smokes coming in.
Going to be throwing the smokes into the site. Blocks off connector, blocks off CT. That's a free site handed over to BiG. They're allowed just to waltz on in and take it all day long. Bomb plant will go in. Run a 5v5 read. Oh, never mind. Stanislaw, fine. Just go ahead and do that. Oh, he's going for more. Stanislaw, what are you doing? Nearly lines up a second, but not quite. This time, the handicap that was the smoke has gone and left, so he's allowed to try and capitalize on this shot 3 connector that much more. Elige starts to push on in. Tabson, he's holding the angle. He'll win that duel, and that's Elige to hit the deck. Now we're into a 4-on-4. Make that a 4v3 as Key finds Nitro. It's the player pushing up through Palace that could make a difference. Stanislaw's on fire, goes in for more, but thankfully, Kiev puts an end to the madness. Big Clan going to be in with their 9th. They win out the pistol in the second half, but Stanislaw's looking unreal right now.
And this is one of the rounds that I would love for Team Liquid to have pulled out during that first half, because it's so effective. You can throw down the different smokes and just get up. If you get the entry there, the whole side is basically yours after the smokes have been thrown down. Of course, it's different with rifles, but still, the idea still stands. And not once on their T side, Team Liquid, did they try something like this. Big Clan comes straight out of the gates. And now just pistols on the Team Liquid side of things. 1 flashbang on Stanislaw, 2 Desert Eagles, and 1 CZ-75 on Nitro. And UMPs, and in general, just SMGs and an AK. And Tabson for the T side of Big Clan. Setting up in the default towards mid, which is the way that most teams play Mirage on T side. Just getting the mid-round calls in when they have map control. Very, very passive setup from Liquid in this one. No one's peeking, no one's trying to do anything. They want the terrorists to run into their crosshairs. They want to take duels at angles that are very advantageous to the CTs, making the peeker have a hard time. So far, they're stacking towards that B bomb site. The entire team, apart from Twist, who's watching the murder hole towards mid. So if Big Clan decides to probe in towards the A bomb site, they're going to find out that the site is completely clear. They can waltz in, get the bomb down, and at that point, Team Liquid shouldn't even be trying to challenge for exits. Oh, not trying to challenge, but you can hold angles. There's just no point of trying a retake.
Yeah, Big, they're taking their time. But as you said, they're going to realize that A's very much theirs the second they walk in. Oh, oh, Keeve spots a man down in CT. Going to start to wrap round. It's Twist and Stanislaw, who look to try and throw a spanner in the works into the machine that is Big, but not going to happen. Twist going to fall, tries to retrieve the dig, and Stanislaw pays the price with his life. Keeve, these frags are all yours, my friend. Finds that foot. Oh, never mind, Elige. Able to get the return, but that will be it. 1v4. Big coming, knocking on his door. And Elige, well, has been able to get one, but I doubt he'd get any more.
Yeah, they pretty much expect him in this position.
Yeah, I was going to say, holds over at B, watches the door.
Oh, you're a poet. And actually, you did know it, so.
I mean, still everything here could go wrong and should go wrong. That's Murphy's Law. There you go, well done.
Elige trying to escape with his life intact, and he does. Brings the Deagle into the next round. As the scoreline reads 10-7. Big Clan, of course, still with SMGs here, going to power through in these next couple of rounds. CT's deciding to not invest too much into this pistol round since they want full utility when they come and hit that first buy. And it's surely going to be 11-7 here. Unless Stanislaw and Elige and the boys make something insane happen with their Desert Eagles. See if we can see some Juan Dig magic. Not really. Mac 10 coming into play. Keeve gets a double before JDM takes the revenge frag. Grabs the Mac 10 in as well. Twist actually takes down Nex with a P250. That's a duel that I would expect Nex to win any time of the day. But Twist's, he makes it happen.
Yeah, just maybe they've taken control of B. They could have done decent damage in this round though. Dropping out Nex and Keeve. Tabson just lies in wait in mid though. And that's one man I would not want to encounter. Oh, my lonesome JDM. He's the one about to try. Has support. Oh, never mind. Going to say he has support, but Tabson, he finds them all. All three go down in mid. Can't get too excited, though. Didn't have much behind it. So it's just expected there from Tabson. 21-11. Massive step up from last game, where I think he got like 6. Here goes the replay of... Boop, there you go.
And that's what they need. They need Tabson to be on point. He was one of the main driving forces for their great result at the Major. If he can play on close to that level in this tournament as well, they have a chance. Right now, it's a full buy for Liquid. They have pretty much full utility on every single player. I'm missing a couple of kits, but almost the best scenario they could have hoped for him with this buy. Bonus round for Legia and Gorb B, who are both on SMGs. Keeve with the AWP. Full setup for everyone utility-wise. Spreading out 2 defensive towards top mid, 2 towards underpass, and then next in the A Palace region. It all comes down to where they get an opening, how the mid-round call is going to come in, and how the round is going to develop from here on out. Boost into window could be possible.
Nice, I think they're going to employ that short boost. This could catch Nitro off guard as he starts to peek out, which it will. Tabson allowed to find the first. We've seen that transformation from Alt Tabson, his alter ego, to Juan Tabson, which is what we like to see. Man advantage up the Big. JDM's got aggressive in apartments, though.
Yep. This is, unless they just sneak up on short, he can pretty much hear everything and hold that B-bomb side at least. Hold the time down. That opens up the stack on A. Keeve tries to get his way in. Elise takes down Nex, and Keeve just edging his way in with the AK, or with the AWP as Legia tries to get it done with the AK-47, but they're just getting shut down right now. Keeve is all alone in a 1v3. Has to make it happen all in his lonesome. Fakes out the smoke, goes for the frag, but misses the shot. And that's pretty much his death sentence. As he misses 2 in a row. Stanislaw with the 3K. A nice bounce back from Liquid. Definitely taking advantage of the bunch of the utility they have. The reason they have that in this kind of situation is because they didn't invest much into the pistols in the 2 ecos they had before. It's a more strategical way of playing that CT side, using the grenades to your advantage. 2 kits this time around are being deployed. Double up setup as well for Team Liquid. JDM and Nitro.
Going to be pushing out towards mid. Once again, the order of the day for BiG. Nitro and JDM both on those orbs. I think that's going to be the answer to Kyiv. Right now, 2 players are BiG over in apps. When you look at the CT side, it looks like they've got a push to 3 over here towards A. They've got the support of Stanislaw on that B bomb site. Nitro going to be holding it up in apartments with the AWP. So you're playing this left side is if they peek wide, you do find yourself trapped in the corner. Can be Molotov'd out as well. So he has to connect this first shot. Actually going to start to see aggression come through from Stanislaw. He's going to get a lot of information on this play. Once he takes an aggressive angle, you can then just see Nitro rotate off, which is what we're going to see now as he looks to try and take up the short position. Alicia's smoked off in window, though, so he's worried that they could already be up short. He's going to fall back towards the back of the site. Tries to hold this one from bench. And now, smoked off window. BiG Clan going to start to rotate back. It's going to be the A split. They send Copy and Kyiv back through T-spawn.
JDM and
Boost your CSGO skins on holyboost.com.
They're pretty much double stacking towards this A ramp and just casually checking apartments. So if this is an opening towards A, towards ramp from Kyiv, I think they got this one pretty much on lockdown. That flash is not going to do anything. JDM hits the first one. Second one could be coming in now. Smoke comes out, twists in the corner. Good setup. Bomb is down. This should be the hold.
Yeah, bomb's been dropped. Twist is holding. Kyiv goes barreling through and then does fall next. Oh, pivots back, but then falls to Elige. Down from CT. Raid's death from afar. AWP's carried forward. Twist and Nitro picked them up. Nitro already had his, but pretend he didn't. JDM going to be throwing that back over. And now the money for BiG is down in the dumps. They have to just take the eco here. tabseN can invest in a little bit. Might decide not to. Favor of grabbing some extra utility in a round's time. No one else can afford to buy up around it, so it would make sense for him to just hold on to that. That said, I mean, he's a very influential player. If he grabs himself maybe like a Deagle, we could see him work some of that German Deagle magic down in mid.
I love that A ramp play coming in from Team Liquid. They're taking a lot of risk playing 2 players towards that position, but it's also high reward because if that push comes in, JDM opens up with the first one, throws down that smoke. Everyone's going to be focused on JDM's position. That allows Twist to get in the corner. He can then take the second frag. When they see the bomb, the Brown is pretty much won at that point. And that's high risk, high reward play coming in from that A ramp. Working out for Team Liquid. Full eco, 2 P215 set of smoke for BiG Clan. And almost nothing invested for them. Team Liquid should have a field day here. Stanislaw even going for the MP9, and we know how deadly he can be with that. He was deadly on that inner bomb side on Train with it. Now on Mirage, and it should be the same story.
This is the shot for Liquid to build up some cash. Stanislaw's in a great place with the MP9. Now he's a little bit trapped, but he can just keep taking these peaks. No armor up for BiG, so Aim Punch going to play into this fully, and he's well aware of that. That nade doesn't actually find much damage. The rest of BiG try to progress through connector. Twist able to find that first. And make that 2. Bomb drop. tabseN goes in over his head, and as a result loses it. That nade does serious damage in mid. Nex and Gobi, the last 2 left alive. And if Nex tries to go any further, there's an AWP at his back. You're always able to get 1, but that will be it. Alicia's quick to silence him. Liquid down on 10. Money now for BiG to buy up does exist, though. And this is their shot to try and widen that gap once more, which has started to shrink down quite significantly. Stellar hold from Twist once again. Once again, only up against the ecoing players. That's what we would expect. That was a very nice shot regardless.
No money for an AWP for Kyiv this time around. He'll be on AK and smoke. Gopi deciding to go for full utility and a Galil. This could be the sign of a more fast-paced mid-round play. After they, of course, do spread out in their default. Take that mid-control as you usually do. But when they decide to go for a push, I would imagine them doing that with a little bit more pace now that they have 5 rifles and don't really have to wait for Kyiv to get into the position with the AWP. They are also up against Stanislaw with an MP9. JDM taken out. That's a nice duel from tabseN, winning that against the AWP player. For JDM. Mid-control successfully taken. for Big Clan, and 1 man up. Stanislaw pushing towards that B, getting some position, getting some information.
Yeah, the information he gets from this is huge. It's so influential in this round. You can really see that Nitro is now holding in towards CT. He's normally the player that supports on that B bomb site. He's been afforded the rotate round, and Elise, he's fully flashed, can't see anything, able to get one. Trades go left and right, but it's Twist to try and hold down the site. He'll fall. And now Stanislaw, 1v3. This flank with the MP9 has to be out of this world. Going to be wrapping around.
And no one's close to him. Well, Nex is, but...
Nex is on 1 HP. Doesn't matter how he could be on the other side of the map. Stanislaw can still pick this up. But yeah, where does he go from there? Luckily enough for him, Leggy is waiting down in mid. You could say lucky enough. He's got that smoke for the defuse. Yeah, but he's not going to commit to this one. Just holds it. Waits to see if any players come his way. Nex very well could. He's going to want to leave the site early. And he's going to push. I was going to say, it doesn't make sense to push down there on his own. Just follow your team. Going to be escorted out by GodB. The brains behind BiG. And there we go. That's the round going to be going back the way of the Germans.
Oh. Nex goes down.
Still falls. AK picked up as well for Stanislaw. So fairly decent round. He can now invest in the AWP actually here. Can throw that over. Means he won't have any utility, but I imagine that's what we're going to see transpire. Might have actually instead, yeah, it was a Liege to pick up the AWP. He throws that over. The AKs then dropped for a Liege. That means they've got the AWP in play. Utility up behind it as well. Good management of the economy there for BiG. AWP going to be up for Kiev. Rest of the guys with AKs across the board. Good bit of utility as well. Once again, classic sort of default for these guys. Going to be sending players in towards mid and ramp. 3 this time though. Over in apartments, Kiev wants to try and open up with the frag onto Stanislaw, but it'll be flashed back.
Short smoke came down early on in the round from T-Spawn, making sure that they can slowly edge their way in and take this mid control once more. Bomb is still dropped in T-Spawn, so BiG just trying to find openings here and there. Team Liquid holding back. As tabseN is being boosted up in middle. So he can look into that window position, but no one's peeking. There's a player just behind him on short. That's Nitro. Let's see if he goes in and spots the angle. Information coming in from the guys over at Connector. Do spray down GodB in top mid. Still 2 players here down towards underpass, but they are being pushed back by the utility. Oh, Elise jumps into the fray, but Nex takes him out, completely unaware of Nex's position. And now Legia has a chance of taking the head off. CT play, he doesn't. Twist comes in and Twist doubles up.
Twist has been insane down in mid tabseN. He's the man left alive, but he is the man you would want. Twist peeks out. They don't want to give anything the way of this beast. Yeah, that's the side. Oh, shots rain through the smoke. tabseN has to be careful here. Smokes it off towards short. That allows him to peek round. Nitro's holding, has this crossfire with Twist. As well as that, you've got Stanislaw now wrapping around from behind. But as a result, tabseN's allowed to sneak up through Connector. He's very limited on time. Going to try peeking into jungle. Twist is holding the angle, but he wins the duel. Now he can try and get the bomb down from here on in, but he's caught off from Palace and from short. Stanislaw finishes that round up. Liquid in with their 11th. They're keeping this close, and they're keeping the economy of BiG very low. The pause cooled in. What do you think the plan of action is here then, Risk?
Right now, I'll probably just see them go for the quick B play. Throw down 1 smoke from those B apartments and then just rush in all 5 members of those B apartments. See if you can get that bomb down, because that's what they need right now. They need to get some extra economy for the utility in the next buy round. And then the next buy round is going to be where it all, what it all comes down to, if they can get that win, because Team Liquid will even it out, 12-12 surely. And we do see the smoke coming in from tabseN. Deagle on Kiev. But this is probably going to be the short smoke towards mid. This is not going to be the quick B play, like here with another one. So I'm thinking they're probably going to go for the mid control play again. And this is going to be the fake mid. GodB going towards underpass. The rest of the team situating towards that A play.
Oh, but they've rushed Palace. Kiev gets picked up early. They're going to try and capitalize by rushing out through ramp, but that's the bomb down and out in the open. Nitro rushes on through, takes 2, takes 3. And he will have no issue winning that round out for Liquid. 12-12, all tied up here in map number 2. BiG, they are fighting to keep themselves in this and take us through to map number 3. That, of course, will be Cobblestone. But right now, Liquid, they're looking to try and close this one out here and now on Mirage. Their map pick.
And this is why I was talking about them needing a bomb plan here, because you can see Legia only buying an MP7 and next forced on it. Get a little two of the players with almost no utility, one smoke for Kyiv. A bomb plant would have been ideal.
Looks like they're going to go for a fast 8. Lining up these smokes and flashes ready to go in, but look at this from Liquid. They've put 3 players up in mid. They've taken all this aggression. Alicia's already wrapping through T-spawn, and this could spell disaster for BiG. Lining up these smokes and flashes, they're going to have to move quickly in. Alicia's going to be in the back lines. If they're kept at the site for any time whatsoever, he can come springing into action. They're going to be allowed to take control. 5v5 in the retake here. It's Elige who I think can make all the difference in this engagement. Sneaking on in. The issue with this, they'll probably expect someone coming from behind, but not this quickly. He spotted them out, but he plays it perfectly. Elige comes in with 2. That's both Nex and tabseN drop. This retake going splendidly right now. Oh, Liquid. All falls onto Legia, 1v3. Tries to hold this one off from CT. Defuse comes in, tries to deny. We're going to get the replay, but the round's still going on. And it's of the wrong round. It's okay, though. I can tell you guys what happened.
Stanislaw.
Yeah, Liquid won that one.
It was actually very close. The last Terrace player tried to spam through the bomb diffuser, and he got around to 8 HP around that mark, but was forced out by the Molotov, and therefore couldn't continue the spray. Lost it out in the end, but 13.
Here we go. This is the right
That's
replay.
The spray. This is the spray. So he tries. He used the tap on the bomb. He tries.
This is what you missed.
Spray it, gets him down to 8 HP, forced away from the Molotov, gets shot down to the boxes. 13 rounds now, and a pistol. Not forced because they're still around 2k mark on that T side. They're buying some utility behind this pistol, so here comes the quick A play once more.
Yeah, they're going to go rushing on in. Kyiv this time opens up. Damage being done once again. This degrading death from afar, but JDM and Elige start to pull it back. Legia's aggressive, and it will pan out for him. Tries to pick up the AK, but JDM's there to trade. Now Kyiv and tabseN. That's all that remains. JDM down in connector. Stanislaw wrapping through CT spawn.
Yeah, that flank. That's going to be sick.
Spots Kyiv. Going to continue the aggression. Kyiv gets the trade. He's going to take a 3rd. Kyiv steps up. He's going to be looking for number 4. And Nitro comes rushing in, denies that frag. And with that, Liquid, they're going to be on to a 14th round. Kyiv, he tries to step up in the moments that they need him to. He somehow takes 3 with the Deagle, but Nitro, he remains steadfast. He clutches that one out.
That was too close to comfort for Liquid, that one. That was just a couple of pistols, some armor, and a few flashbangs and smokes, and they still got it down to a 1v1 in the end. Well, Kyiv got it down to a 1v1 in the end. Very nice play coming out from Big Clan. Definitely an improvement from Train, but not looking like it's going to be enough. Liquid with good economy on a bunch of their players. AWP on JDM. We do have the full setup on this T side. They have everything they want. So now is where we see their best players come out. Kyiv with aggressive play. AWP into A apartments. Oh, yeah, Palace tries to go for the shot through the smoke. Will not happen. Stanislaw comes in with one. Doubles up. Elige. And once again, it's just frags left, right, and center. 3v3.
Yeah, but the issue here, bomb dropped over on ramp. They have to go ahead and pick that up. They've sent Kyiv round to try and do it, while tabseN and Godby going to boost up in the window, but Stanislaw, he's been the key player for Liquid. He lies in wait. They're going to be rubbing barrels with each other. tabseN does get the trade. An hour into a 2-on-2, Elige just waits in the corner here. Did they spot out the bomb? Because he thought the Nitro would have started to rotate around by now. I don't think they have.
Yeah, Nitro's holding market right now.
Yeah, he's still waiting. I think part of that is because they know that tabseN's up in window now.
Yeah. I still have a lot of utility on the CT side. 3 flashbangs.
Yeah, but all that's over on Nitro. He's all the way in the B-bomb side. That's not helpful at all right now. It's only Elige who's got himself 1 flash, but on 16 HP, it would have to be picturesque.
Actually, he has 2 flashbangs. I think the UI is bugging.
Okay, well, that's fine. Holds the corner here. Just going to be lying in wait. Kyiv goes running in. Has to check this. Spots the angle. Down goes Elige. And now it's Nitro. 1v2. Aggression comes out from tabseN towards CT. Playing this very aggressively. Nitro going around the corner. The shadow opens things up, and tabseN finds that frag. Ultimately, it was the shadows that betrayed Nitro. The sun, his ultimate enemy. And now we're going to see it go 13-14. Money still exists for Liquid. It's not going to be the best fight. And it will mean that if they lose this, they will be eco in the next. This round is so important for both teams. Both of them would find themselves in a weak economy. For Liquid, that could mean the series 2-0. And for BiG, that could mean map point. This round is the defining moment of this matchup.
Very nice play from tabseN coming into that last round. Coming into this one with a lot of confidence. Stanislaus holding down towards B. 2 players, Kiev and Legia. Next coming in behind. tabseN joining the party as well in a few seconds, so this could look like a quick B play. Stanislaus picks up the first one, 1-for-1 trade. Next with the revenge. One more play on that B bomb site.
Yeah, that man is Nitro. Finds the first. That's bomb dropped. He's buying time for the rotates. Legia finds the refrag though. So they do get control of the site. It's the flank coming in from Elige and from JDM. Could throw a spanner in the works. You've got GodB waiting over a mid. No one's going to be coming his way. Instead, they're already up at apartments. They've somehow snuck by GodB. I don't think they have information on this whatsoever. They believe it's clear because GodB was meant to be holding mid. And this round comes crushing down around them. Elige opens up with 2. Bomb isn't planted for GodB in this scenario. They're just going to be allowed to stick the defuse. He finds 1, but Twist trades Liquid. They're going to take themselves that 15th round. There's no money for BiG heading into this one. They have a little bit on 3 players, but the buy is not going to be ideal.
You just hate to see it. Elige just has this huge hole open, allowed to go in, grab these frags, and Liquid on 15. What a play. As you said, BiG Clan, they have some money, they can't get rifles, but no utility, and Galil's and 2 players, this is not a good buy for them. MP9 and Nitro as well, so not perfect for the CTs either. No hope. Kids on most of the players though. And Team Liquid could bring this home 2-0 and grab themselves a semi-final spot. tabseN trying to make it happen. Whoa! Elige takes his head off.
The opener found. Elige now turns his attention up towards Palace. Elige is on fire, takes all 3. Legia and GodB, that's all that remains. Finally, they deal with Elige. And GodB trying to do all he can down in middle. Going to be gifted too, because from nowhere, they come running into his crosshair. 6 HP, going to be doubling back in towards the B-bomb side. BiG Clan, they're not out of this one just yet. Liquid, JDM and Twist, that's all that's left. They have to try and clutch this out to carry them through to a 2-0 victory. Bomb plant comes in, it's going to be planted for short. Twist is the first man on the scene. JDM rotating in through short, and Twist just going to wait. His teammate positioning over on short. Holding down the angle, waiting for JDM to be in the perfect position. Now they're going to try and head into this together. Damage done. JDM's been tagged low. Now we're going to look to Twist to try and remedy this. Goes in for the spray, finds great damage onto Legia. GodB lurks within the site, takes the peek out, finds 1. JDM versus GodB, time ticking away. JDM has to move quick here, and he finds the frag. There's enough time left for the defuse. Liquid, they're going to pick this up. 16-13, they win that one out 2-0. And Liquid, they look fantastic right now. BiG. Their heads are going to be hung low. They're going to lose this one 2-0. And that will be them. They're going home. Liquid, they're heading through to the semi-finals later on today. I was thoroughly impressed with that. I thought they did extremely well.
Yeah. Stanislaus ending on 31-19. That is insane for an in-game leader to have that kind of presence on the map frag-wise. I have to say, Lee stepped up after a not-so-good first half.
I just can't believe it. That was ridiculous.
That was really well played.
What a great game.
Yeah.
I mean, BiG, they looked very deflated in Train. I think if we'd seen them get off to a better start, if Train was a little more like Mirage, you know, in terms of scoreline, it could have been a different story. But ultimately, Liquid, they played out of their damn minds. I was thoroughly impressed with that.
All right, so that's it for us for this first best of 3 of the day. We're going to go over to the analyst desk and see what they have to say.
Yes, indeed. A 2-0 victory for Liquid. Somewhat unexpected, perhaps, but BiG losing their own map and then losing the second as well. And we're back with our panel members once more with Thorin and Lerpis. Thorin, poor performance from BiG on the first map, but let's talk about the second one because they had their opportunities to win that.
Sure. I mean, you can start. This is one of the times where the scoreboard gives you the first immediate clue, which is tabseN had a very good game, but if tabseN is going to be out-dueled in terms of just sheer frag output by, in theory, the least skilled player on Team Liquid, you can already see it's going to be a tough day for everyone else. And you looked at the way they played Mirage there. Everyone else except from tabseN had some real issues on this map. Like, Kiev didn't do a whole lot. The kills that we kind of saw in the highlights, they were kind of simple ones, you know. He wasn't having big impact with his AWP. As usual, they ran tactics, but they didn't get a whole lot from them. The big concern here was the firepower, especially I thought on the CT sides of both maps, was always going to be on Team Liquid's side. And so I think you would have taken some like perfect timings on the tactics to make them work.
Okay. Tommy, what did you make of Liquid's performance?
thought they played pretty well. Frankly, I thought they would have closed out Mirage a little earlier. I think it was Duncan called out in the green room that it was going to be 7 rounds in the first half and then a quick closeout on the CT side. BiG made a valiant comeback in the second half, but it just wasn't there. The problem is Liquid just have too much skill, so they can easily shut out some of the teams that actually have better tactics and are better prepared attacking against them. So I thought that was the difference maker in the end.
Second map, I think the one man we do have to pick out is the in-game leader. He is the man of the match, and that's Stanislaw. 31 for 19. He's had a fantastic match, not just in terms of the frag. We often talk about top fragger and what have you, but everywhere on the map, and his calls were sort of on point as well. Seemed to do everything right.
Well, people have to realise he's obviously someone who, unlike GotB, he doesn't just play his whole career as an in-game leader. This is a guy who actually was just one of the team in a lot of the lineups before, until he kind of took the mantle on in Optic to become the in-game leader. So, in terms of in-game leaders, it's tough to say how good he is in terms of the tactics, but weighing it up, in terms of NA especially, he's one of the better fraggers of the in-game leaders, certainly much better than the FNSs of the world, etc. And in general, in Optic, he had a very interesting style where he would be like a lurker and he would kind of like flank people a lot. So he has decent game sense, decent read of the map, which is probably why it suited him to be an in-game leader. This is an anomaly, though, that he'd have a game that's this kind of outrageous in terms of the raw numbers, I think.
Yeah, indeed. Rare breeds, though, Tommy, in America right now, especially in North America, in-game leaders.
No, I mean, they really just don't have many. And that's what I've been saying for a long time, that if you're an upcoming player in North America, just make yourself a leader. You only have to be semi-good on an absolute scale, and you'll be picked up by the Cloud9s of the world in no time.
Back to North America?
I don't think so, Paul. I might go back to North America, but it is not going to be to lead one of these teams.
Mate, you can make Cloud9 salary in a week doing this event.
Well, only if you're Tommy, though.
Exactly, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Why would you go and play all day for that? Do interviews, have to wear a rubbish shirt. Wow.
See, we only come out here for 10 minutes, Paul. Why do you think we do this?
Exactly. 10 minutes work, easy.
I almost want to talk about MVP, and then I realised that we talked about this morning, and it ended up in a 40-minute conversation. Well, we've got time to fill later on. We're going to talk about MVPs and the rights and wrongs and wherefores. But let's just wrap up on this game. We're going to get Nitro in just a minute for an interview.
He had the best seat in the house.
Yeah, I want to talk about it because he was disappointing in that game.
Yeah, the problem is in general, you look at the last 2 years of Team Liquid, and Nitro is he must have just pulled the owner of that team out of a burning car wreck at some point in time. I don't know how he's still in this team. I don't know what it is he does. Maybe he just gives the best back rubs, makes a perfect cup of tea, just the right amount of milk, a little bit of sugar. He's just too good. Because as a player, he still is entirely lost in terms of his role. He's certainly a skilled player, and he'll have his odd games like the Stanislaw game today, where he just has 20 kills or something. You think, oh, he is a good player. He's a skilled player. But it's a mixture of his mentality. He doesn't have a very dominant personality, he kind of just does whatever. And then bizarrely within the team, his role is it's just a much of nothing. I'm not really sure what his role is even supposed to be. I assume a supportive player.
Well, as soon as we know he's ready, we'll bring him in, and maybe we can ask him that question. In the whole sense of this, they're making the semi-finals. That's a good result for Liquid, isn't it?
No, of course. Yeah. I mean, coming into this tournament, I would guess their goal probably was to make the semi-final. Considering their group, it wasn't an impossible goal to reach. And I mean, you would never set your goal at below that in an 18 tournament. It's good showing for them so far. I think it would still be somewhat disappointing if they just now get completely destroyed in the semi-final, which is the likely scenario. But I mean, maybe a good result for the rest of the day then would be to come have a good map, one close map against SK. They've found some success online, but I mean that's obviously a whole different ball game.
All right, let's bring Nitro in right now because he's going to join us from the caster area. Nitro, congrats on the 2-0 win. I hope you can hear us okay.
Yes,
perfect.
I can hear you perfectly.
What's the mood like right now? I guess you guys set some targets. Amongst them probably would have been at least a semi-final spot here.
Yeah, we usually set goals for every tournament, and this tournament obviously want to finish top 3 at least.
Make sure you get on the next one.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be hard, but I think we could pull it through in the end.
Okay, and in terms of the match, how did you approach BiG? Because they're very tactical, they're very strategical. So what was the call from Stan for this one?
Actually, me and Elise have been preparing every night for our opponents, and I mean, we played them already this tournament, so we had a little on them, and we know how they play at the major qualifier and whatnot. So, I mean, we definitely knew what they did, and I mean, the results showed. I mean, we were prepared, so.
Do you feel like they played differently at all?
I I mean, we didn't really have that much on their Mirage, but we definitely had some on their train, and yeah, they didn't change anything.
All right, cool. Guys, got any questions?
What's actually changed for you guys ever since the break? Because I know there was some talk about potential roster changes. There's been some time off. You guys boot camped in Europe. How are you different now from before the summer break?
Well, I mean, obviously we had our issues going. Well, we actually boot camped before we came here, and I actually started in-game leading again. I mean, I know you aren't going to believe it, but yeah. I definitely had an awakening, I guess you could say. Like I'm not as
tactical awakening.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not as explosive as I used to be. So I felt I was more of a support player, and I really think Stan should be lurking in our team. I think that's his best ability, and I think I can unleash Twist and Elise to just explode, and I think that's our best chance at winning. So
how much can Zeus actually help you in calling? Because I assume it can at least help you quite a bit in terms of preparation and how to think about the game. But at the end of the day, you're still going to be the one making the calls mid-round, especially.
Right. Well, I mean, since the coaching rule, he can't really talk, so that's definitely a bummer. But I mean, he helps us prepare, and he definitely gives good points in our 30-second pauses and whatnot. So it's mainly me and Stanislav just calling like 50-50 right now.
So when you said you've become the in-game leader, I was thinking, is it that month of the year already? Why do you always flirt with this role? Why do you take the role on, but then a month later, I'm not feeling it anymore? Are you just going to be an in-game leader the rest of your career?
I know I'm definitely up and down with that, but I'm just thinking more for the team, and I think, like, I don't know, really. I just really thought that it would make everyone else explode in their roles, their proper roles. I mean, obviously, Stanislav can help call whenever he wants, and he definitely does that a lot. But in freeze time, it's mostly me, and then he'll mid-game and whatnot. I mean, he definitely won a lot of rounds for us in that Mirage too, from his lurking. And I think before that, he wasn't lurking, but it was more of Twist, and Twist wasn't like. It's not that he was doing a bad job at it, but I think Twist should be with the pack because he's so talented and whatnot. But I just think that's how it should be for now.
All right, cool stuff. We're going to let you go. One final question. Looking forward to SK later on?
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's always fun playing those guys.
Tough opponent, though.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, good stuff. Well done, Nitro. Congrats on reaching the semi-final.
Thank you.
That's Nitro from Team Liquid. It's safely through to the semi-final, a 2-0 victory for them. We'll just wrap up things on this particular game. Tommy, do they have a realistic chance against SK, or is this a bridge too far?
I don't think they have a realistic chance. I think they can steal a map, maybe make it competitive, at least on one map. But from what we've seen of both teams so far here, I think SK still are a level above everybody else.
Yeah. Duncan, you agree?
If you include this tournament to the last two, SK have been off the boil a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I realise if you go and look at his stats, they're still very good. Coldzera isn't at the amazing level he seemingly did every tournament, you know. That's certainly going to give you an opening. I also thought there were some interesting details revealed in this interview here of like how Stanislav switched up his role and how they've even switched Twist's role up, because actually that's the key thing. Twist was a very good breakout player in the team, but he only really got his consistency the last couple of months. So if they really have made positive changes, this is a team where I realise people think it's a broken record, but they always have had insane potential. They just very rarely ever delivered on it. So obviously they can give SK kind of a new look to what XA would expect from the traditional Team Liquid lineup. I think they can have a puncher's chance. It's just you need a lot to go wrong on the SK side as well as to go right on Team Liquid's from my perspective.
Yeah, it's a big ask. We'll find out a bit later on, of course. That is our final match of the day. SK will now go head-to-head with Liquid in our last semi-final. Quick reminder for you, there are a number of competitions on the go right now, one of which is the PV Pro competitions. Head over to pvpro.com. There is over $4,000 worth of skins to be won. Enter the competition right now for your chance to grab one of those Dragon Lures, perhaps. Okay, we're headed to a break next, but when we come back, our first semi-final of ESG Tour Mykonos will be upon us. It is a fantastic matchup between two teams who we have no idea which way it's going to go. It's Mouse Sports Virtus Pro next.
focused. Be uncompromising. Be the best and never hold out. Pick your event. Place your bet. No matter who you are or what you're here for, it's our passion that unites us. Betway, for the love of the game.
Boost your CSGO skins on HolyBoost.com.
very warm welcome back to ESG Tour Mykonos, presented by Betway. We're on day number 3 of 4. Tomorrow will be our championship final match, and we'll also have the 3rd, 4th playoff match, which for a change does have a reason to be played because it gets you into the next ESG Tour. We're almost ready for our next match today, and we're going to turn our attention next to the semi-finals. But before we do that, why don't we check in with our vacation boy once more and find out what Mr. Palla has been up to.
I've somehow been roped into doing this ESG Tour Mykonos stuff whilst I've been on holiday, but now I finally get to actually relax and have a good time. Sand in my toes, the ocean in front of me, and of course, pina colada in hand. This Tom now finally is perfect. Is that?
Palla, what's doing?
He's so confused right now. Yeah, well, he's been trying to have a vacation pretty much the whole week, and we've been making him work hard, but we'll check it again with Palla a little later on. Of course, tomorrow as well, got plenty more to come from him. We're going to turn our attention to Mouse Sports versus Virtus Pro. Quickly, gents, just sum up what your excitement levels are for this one. Are you like, you know, Thorin 10 scale, or is it not quite there?
After that video, I'm incredibly excited.
Yeah. But,
right,
but for different
game,
reasons.
right, yeah,
for the game.
Counter-Strike, yeah. Sorry, it'll be later.
Yeah.
This is a game where the problem is Virtus Pro is such an X factor. No one knows what Virtus Pro is going to turn up. So this could be a fantastic game. Like, I feel like Mouse Sports definitely have the firepower. They showed that in the game against Gambit, actually, because if you think about it, they won that series with like not actually that great as performance from Oscar. He was fairly chill, and it was actually Sonny and obviously the first map Robs who really took over and with the star-studded firepower. So when you've got that much aim talent and you're facing a team, is my mic not turned on or something?
No. Check, where is your transmitter? Please.
Oh, we'll fix that. Don't worry. we'll fix that, Duncan. He's got to be plugged back in. We're all good. Yeah, sorry, Duncan, you were saying?
Can everyone hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. I think the big concern for me is just which Virtus Pro will turn. Like, I'm fairly sure what Mouse bring to the table. I doubt they're going to be incredible, but we've seen some pretty good fragging in every match they've played so far. The question is, are Virtus Pro going to be good? Are they going to have any of that cohesive team play which you hope 4 years of playing together will bring? Because if so, sure they can win this series, absolutely. But I think Mouse Sports have a great puncher's chance.
Yeah, that's part of the problem, though, isn't it, Tommy? Chris J identified that yesterday, because I said, you know, you're looking forward to playing Virtus Pro, and he's like, I don't really know what version we're going to get today, so it's kind of difficult to prepare.
Well, I mean, that's what Duncan brought up on the first day here on the set, where he's basically mentioned that people still have almost like, I don't know what the best word to describe it. It's like they have like trauma from the old days when Virtus Pro were consistently elite and just destroyed teams. But we haven't really seen that team since, I don't know, Vegas, basically, which was February. So it's been quite a while. Obviously, the group stage here was a bit of a trend in the right direction. I mean, there's a couple of wins, but at the same time, there's just 2 best-of-1 wins against teams that they definitely were favored against. So I'm not really sure if we're ready to say the Virtus Pro is back or anything close to that.
Sure.
I think the biggest thing for me is I just need to see Snacks playing at an elite level again, because he really is the superstar on that team, and they frankly don't have enough firepower otherwise to be beating everybody consistently. So he needs to be back in full force, and at the same time, I think at this point, if Virtus Pro is playing just their average game, then it's actually, the ball is in Mouse Sports' court. If they play really well, then they probably win. They don't really need Virtus Pro to mess up. They just need them to not show up in what would have been their great form earlier in the year.
Let's take a look at the Mouse Sports lineup on screen in just a moment and talk through this lineup. What have you made of it so far, Tommy? Because it is an eclectic mix of players at this point, isn't it? We know they haven't practiced very much, but I think Duncan made the point yesterday that individually these are all really good players, and if they can somehow pull this together, even here as a puggy kind of style and a little bit of tactics thrown in, this could be a good team.
Yeah, of course. I mean, they were already reasonably decent in the summer after they added Rob, so that was already definitely a good roster move, made them significantly better. They had some good results in the summer tournaments before the break, and I think their roster changes definitely improved, and they added a higher skill ceiling, which obviously gives you more potential for future results. One thing to say is obviously teams sometimes perform better in their honeymoon period when everybody's really happy, no one's complaining about anything. Not really sure if anybody in Mouse has that tendency, but it's something to keep in mind. And the other thing is it's also harder to play against Mouse currently because no one knows how they play.
But they don't know how they play.
No, of course. But if you're playing against someone like, I don't know, if you play against a very tactical team, then it's probably better for you to be less prepared. If that also means they have no idea how they play. Because there are teams that just very much rely on knowing how you play and basing their play around that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's a bit of a mind worry for Virtus Pro in a way. Do they just focus on their own game then, Duncan?
I think they have to. For me, in this particular game, if you look at how Mousesports has played so far, we still haven't seen any fantastic coordination. It's not like they have any. They don't really particularly use massive amounts of utility on the T side. They've really relied on just fantastic individual plays. Even that game against Gambit, it was like people killing people with a deagle. You know, it was pretty FPL level of play. So if I'm Virtus Pro, this is one of the rare instances where I don't think you would think about the opponent at all. You just got to try and execute. Just play.
Boost your CSGO skins on holyboost.com.
Think of it as if it was like that extreme skill matchup when I talked about Team Liquid versus BiG, like a bunch of really skilled players versus a team. Like you want to make the way you win the game the team element. Like think about it. You've played for 4 years, certain people in 2 sites together on the same map for so long. Rely on that. Make that the focal point. Don't worry too much about the aim elements, and then I think that can be the road to victory.
Okay, I'm going to talk more about Virtus Pro in just a moment, but I'd like to hear from the man, the myth, the legend, Taz, and a couple of his teammates as they headed into Mykonos. They've had a bit of an up-and-down year. Let's find out what they've made of it.
I think that 2017 is a hard year for us. Some might think that it's a very bad year for us, but on the other hand, we already won an event, a big event. We already took 2nd place and 3rd to 4th in the major, which means that we can play to the highest level still, but I think that we lost something in a team, maybe because of too many changes, maybe of, the idea of getting better struck us in a hard way, and we just need to get back to ourselves. I don't think that it's as big issue as everyone thinks, but it's an issue and we need to solve it.
2017, to be honest, it's shittest year in our careers, to be honest, because everyone knows we have a good start. We are up, we are down, we are up, we are down. And this year we start up, we go down, we go down, we go down, and still we are we are down. So we will be fighting for being the top again. This is the most important thing of end of the year.
It's kind of really hard for me to tell, since we have never changed the lineup, how it looks like